And we are live. How's everybody doing tonight? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and you're watching and/or listening to ABL Live. Thank y'all for joining me tonight. You could be almost anywhere in the world, but you're right here with me live on the show, and I appreciate y'all for that. We got a whole lot going on all over the internets, all over mainstream media, social media, everywhere, and I don't know where to start. First of all, the white South Africans have the liberals in the uproar. Now all of a sudden they don't want any migrants. Now all of a sudden they say go back to where you came from. Well, where were you 20 million illegal aliens ago? We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, this New York City black statue has me so triggered beyond belief. Why would you place a monument dedicated to mediocrity right in New York City Times Square? Like, hey, little black girl, when you grow up, you get to be a Popeyes worker. That'd be the best bet for you in your future. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, we got to talk about the unhinged homeowner in New York with an FFL who shot a DoorDash driver in his car as he was leaving on the street. I don't know if he was drunk, on drugs, crazy, Chris Benoit. I don't know what's happening, but we'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, the Chinese tariffs really wrecked their country. Speaking about China, the tariffs we put on them really wrecked their country, and they had to blink. They had to say, okay, we're going to come to the table. We're going to do a deal. And now the tariffs are over with. Did Trump cave? Did China cave? I think we all know who did, and it ain't the orange man. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Plus, there's quite a few videos, quite a few things that we've not discussed since I've been gone. We'll talk about all those things and more on tonight's episode of ABL Live. And again, thank y'all for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. If you like what you're hearing so far, if you enjoy the content in general, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. I'm sorry I was not here on Saturday, but y'all know I was out in West Virginia for, visiting my family, Mother's Day, all that kind of good stuff. And I didn't even want to bring my stuff because I know I wasn't going to be able to really get away for the time I was there. So, but I appreciate y'all for understanding. But we're back, and I've been watching the news still. I've been watching what's going on. It's like, okay, we got to get right back to it because there's some crazy stuff happening. Crazy stuff happening. I saw two little boys try to, like, it was a standoff with police, a 7-year-old and a 9-year-old. I don't even want to play that because it got kids involved and YouTube was weird with that. But how do you have like little kids involved in criminality, 7 and 9 years old? And then when you're talking about the migrants, oh, we got all these minors, unaccompanied children. You mean the 16-year-old? You mean the 16-year-olds, 16-year-old, 17-year-old gang members? You talking about them? I'm supposed to cry tears for the gang members? You got little kids in America doing stuff. So you think that if you go to some of these war-torn countries, third world countries south of the border, that you're not going to have 14, 15, 16-year-old gang members? Like, come on. Even in the Alien Enemies Act, it says those older than 14 can fall up under it. Exactly, because they understand that criminality can start at that age. And if they're that old with criminality on their mind, they can be very dangerous. I don't know about y'all, but I'm not trying to have one of these high school age gang members anywhere near me. That's the worst age right there because they brainless. They big as a man and brainless. They will shoot you for no reason, literally no reason. There was a woman, a black woman who got shot. I might do a video about that just to let everybody know how real it is. She got shot randomly by some of these foreign YNs. I don't know what you want to call them. YHs, I have no idea. But she got shot and killed by these guys randomly. It's like, see, that right there is a problem. People talking about, oh, let all the migrants in, ABL. You're a bigot if you don't want the migrants to come in. A bigot? How am I a bigot for wanting the nation to be secure? How is that bigoted? I don't care what color you are. I don't care what country you come from. Just come here legally. You could be black, white, Puerto Rican, the Canyon stripe. I don't care. You could be from Europe, Africa, Asia, South America, Antarctica, the middle of the ocean, the Earth's core, the North Pole, the South Pole, Mars, the moon, the sun, the moon, the stars. I don't care where you come from, but just come here legally and do the right thing while you're here. Go to any country on planet Earth, that'll be their request. Hey, if you're going to come to China, if you're going to come to Morocco, if you're going to come to France, if you're going to come to somewhere, Well, not France, because France, they soft anyway. But if you're going to go anywhere else other than France and UK and Germany, you got to behave and you got to abide by the rules. And if you don't, well, hey, man, big rocks to little rocks might be the least of your concern. That'd be, hey, man, you go to China, start acting up, you're going to be put in slavery. You're going to be assembling toy parts for Target. Hey, you're going to be assembling toys for the toy section of Walmart, Target, all of that for 15 years, and ain't nobody going to find you. So the moral of the story is, act right when you visit other places. It doesn't matter who you are, what color you are, what gender you are, what you think you are as far as your gender. You're 6'7" and you got the Adam's apple the size of the whole globe right in your neck, talking about oh, I'm a woman. No, you're not. No, you're not. But even if you do think you are, you're not excluded from having to follow the law the same as anybody else. And speaking about Transformers, a lot of these people rely on their alternative identity to do whatever they want to do. I'm transgender. I want to do whatever I want. I want to. It's like, bro, you messing with your voice ain't going to change nothing at the end of the day. You playing with your voice box, okay, trying to be an impressionist and ventriloquist of your own self ain't going to change the law in the books. So follow it or don't. And if you break the law, guess what? That voice, that funny voice you're making will not prevent you from going to a men's penitentiary. Oh, it's not. And they're going to love that voice in there. Oh, you're going to be somebody's wife immediately. It's going to be a bidding war. They're going to be betting packs of coffee, weed that came from somebody's butt. It'd be one of them little butt packs of weed. They're going to be betting that on you. Hey, I got 10 packs of that butt weed on John. His new name is now Jaleesa, okay? So I got 10 packs of butt weed on Jaleesa. Let me get them. That is what's going to happen. So that should be a deterrent. But that's often a shield. So you see so many of these people crashing out, doing crazy things, in my humble opinion, for two reasons. The first reason is they're crazy, they're mentally ill. That's why they're a boy thinking they're a girl. Reason number one. Reason number two, oh, I'm going to get away with it. I'm going to get a slap on the wrist because I'm transgender. I'll go to the women's prison. You have to be hard on these criminals. You got to be hard on them. You can't let them just get some type of shortcut, some type of leniency. Nah, be hard on them. And let's let the law apply to everyone the same. The whole thing with the illegal aliens. They caught the young lady out here in Dalton, right down the street from me. Like, it's like probably about 20 minutes away. Dalton is known as being Mexico, basically. Dalton, Georgia might as well be Dalton, Mexico. It is what it is. A lot of legal residents out there, a lot of hardworking Mexicans out there, and Guatemalans, and other people from Central America to speak Spanish. Shout out to them. But there's also illegal aliens. Now, she's 19 and she was just going to school. Okay, but try getting a driver's license in the USA. Okay, try becoming a legal resident of this place. You're going to school. Why can't you get a student visa? I know people from other countries who are here not as citizens, but they have a legal visa because they're in school. Why you don't get that? You just over here doing whatever you want to do. And then I got to feel bad because you about to get locked up. I don't feel bad because guess what? If I get pulled over in a traffic stop, whether they think it's the right truck, the wrong truck, they smell weed, whatever it is, if I get pulled over and they go through my paperwork, my license ain't right, my registration ain't right, if they go through my work and it's not right, I'm going to be held accountable. If I got a suspended license, expired registration, tags, all of that kind of stuff is bad, I'm going to be held accountable. Same thing for the illegal aliens. They must be held accountable. As simple as that. It's simple as that. But yeah, shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for joining. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. And we got a whole lot going on. There's a lot of videos. We got Trump over in Saudi Arabia and Qatar and everywhere else. A lot of you guys sending me emails about this. This is a very good thing. Oh, did he accept a plane? Is that going to be a national security issue? We'll get to that a little bit more, a little bit later. But first things first, Again, shout out to everybody that's watching. Also, shout out to the sponsors. You guys are the first sponsors, of course, because without you, there is no me. I couldn't do the show without you. But also, shout out to patriotpost.us, your best source of news and information anywhere on these interwebs. Their link will always be in the description, or just visit patriotpost.us in your browser. Tell them that ABL sent you. Also, please go to ablmerch.com. That is ablmerch.com. We got the hats. Okay, we got the hats. We got the t-shirts, the stickers, the hoodies, mugs, and more right there on the website, ablmerch.com. That link, as all the other links are, will always be in the box. And there it is right there in the chat. Shout out to Sheree. I appreciate you for that. But also go to the regular website, anthonyblogan.com. That is ANTHONY, the letter B, LOGAN.com. Go to the front page of the website. You'll be able to find articles for each video that I produce. And in each article, I got sources from the left, from the right, from the center, from the Democratic, Republican, politically agnostic, local, national, international, whatever you want. I got it. As long as it's legal, it'll be right there on the front page of the website, anthonyblogan.com. Again, ANTHONY, the letter B, LOGAN.com. Also, go to the contact page of the website, anthonyblogan.com/contact-us. There you'll be able to find my email address, my snail mail address, my UPS box, of course, my social media accounts, my Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, never going to call it X, TikTok. All those links are right there on the contact page of the website, anthonyblogan.com/contact-us. And as I always say, if you're ever wondering if you're conversing with me on the interwebs or not, please go to the contact page and check the method of communication. My email is very easy to remember, contact@anthonyblogan.com. And if you ever forget, just go to the website and find it right there. Because if you're in these YouTube comment sections, talking to people, communicating with people, and then someone who looks like me with my profile picture or a name similar to mine enters the chat talking about you could get rich quick, do Bitcoin Forex, that's going to be a scam. It's 2025. Y'all should know better by now than to get scammed by these robots in the comments. They also do a thing where it'd be someone with an unrelated comment talking about, Miss Boomhauer, not Miss Boomhauer. Shout out to you if you watching Boomhauer. What's a better one? I saw your comment, it threw me off. Miss Jacob Schoppenheimer Schmidt told me that I'd be able to make X amount of money in 15 days if I do this method, and then it'll be like 50 comments up underneath it. So you click the comments thinking that it's a legitimate thing, and you try to contact the original poster. Okay, that's fake too. All of that is fake. All 50 comments and the first comment are fake. So please don't do that. Don't take financial advice from YouTube comments. Put it to you that way. All righty. So let's not do that. Yeah, man. Hey, Boomer, I can't put you in there, Boomhauer. But shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for joining. It is about 1,000 degrees in here, even though I got the AC on, but we're going to keep rocking and rolling. I ain't trying to get up to adjust it right now. Now, we got some good. I'm gonna start with the good news first, because we got some crazy stuff, but I'm gonna start with the good stuff first. All righty. So look, we got Trump over in Saudi. This is Saudi officials saluting President Trump at the royal court in Riyadh. And shout out to you guys who understand about international politics. Did I pronounce that right or not? Y'all let me know. But check this out. Do we have sound or not? I don't think there's sound on this video right here. Yeah. So one by one. And I think beside Trump, you have Mohammed bin Salman, who is a very important figure. Mohammed bin Salman is the equivalent of Donald Trump over there in that part of the world. Not necessarily as far as personality, but as far as his importance. You're talking about the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia. That's a top dog. Remember, they chopped up Jamal Khashoggi and nobody did anything. What are you going to do? Listen, the Saudis chopped that man up. What you going to do? That's their business. Ain't nobody say nothing about no sanctions or trying to do. They're going to handle their business the way they handle it. And that's what this is. This is a respectful exchange. Everybody shaking hands. Everybody giving salutes. That's what should happen. So, yeah, shout out to Trump getting a warm reception over there in Saudi Arabia, okay, from a very sovereign and powerful country. Yeah, shout out to the Saudis. All right, we got more from Saudi. Now, this is Qatar putting on a traditional performance before Trump's visit. Let's watch some of this here. Now, if you look close, do they have swords? I'm not quite sure what those swords are called. You guys are a lot smarter than I am. If you know what those are called, you see them right here in the right-hand side of the screen. If you know what they're called, let me know in the comments. But yeah, definitely great performance, traditional in the all white. You know, I'm very impressed to keep that all white sparkling and glistening. I mean, good grief. If I had on an all white outfit, it's going to be dirty and T-minus 15 minutes, at least a little smudge or something. All right. So yeah, shout out to them. Shout out to the Qataris. And here we are. This is Trump and MBS. And a definitely iconic moment, an iconic picture for sure. I love it. I love it. Shout out to Trump. Shout out to the Saudis. Shout out to MBS. This is a great thing. Now, do any of you guys think it's a bad thing? You think that this shouldn't be happening? You think that we should be hard on Saudi? I don't know why we should be hard on Saudi. I don't really understand that point of view. If that is a thought process of some people, I'm not quite sure. But yeah, I think this is great. I think this is great. I think it's great to be able to go to different countries and be able to have peace, be on the same page, get along, have fair business dealings and whatnot. Now, let's go to this. What about the plane, ABL? He got a plane from Qatar. So look, Qatar just signed a $200 billion. Listen, Qatar just signed a $200 billion purchase agreement with the U.S. to buy 160 Boeing planes, one of the largest aircraft orders in history. So we're talking about a jet that they gave. Okay, look, you're buying $200 billion from an American company. You're investing a lot of money into the economy. So what are we saying exactly? I don't understand the fallout behind the whole thing about the Qataris and the jet.
Now we will see the signing of the agreement of buying aircraft from Boeing. His Excellency Badr bin Abdelamir will sign from the Qatari side, and Kelly Altberg will be signing on behalf of Boeing.
There we go. So we got it signing right there. $200 billion we're getting from them. Now, all I see is a good thing. All I see is dollar signs. All I see is money coming our way. Is there any downside to this? If there is a downside to this, again, you guys are smarter than I am. Y'all please let me know in the comments. Let me know in the comments. And that's right. These planes will be built in the USA. Built in the USA. So look, all the guys out there, all the aircraft mechanics, everybody, do not mess this up. Okay? Don't be smoking crack and then go to your shift. I want you guys to be clear-headed, sober, and all that good stuff to make this order happen and give them great, efficient products. That's what I want. Okay. Peg says, what we have to give them for that? We give them the planes after they're done that they paid for. It's pretty simple. Maybe they get a discount or something like that. If you order $200 billion worth of product, you probably get a little discount. I would think so. I wouldn't charge you full price. If you're going to buy $200 billion of a thing, hey, okay, let's just say on a small scale, I sell cell phones for $1,000, right? Now, if you buy $1 trillion of them, you might get each for $700, a little 30% discount because you spent so much money. Why not? Why not? I don't see the problem. Okay. Now, I think Elon was over there with Trump at a certain point in Saudi. So I don't know if this was from Saudi or if it was from a different time. We're talking about solar power right here, talking about the entire world could be powered by solar. And he's correct, but there's a caveat.
The world could be powered many times over by solar if you had enough battery capacity to pair with it. Many times, like...
The world? I mean, obviously California, where you're based, but in Europe? Can you really say that in Europe?
1,000. It's literally true. The amount of energy that reaches the Earth from the sun is staggeringly high. We have this enormous fusion generator in the sky that is lobbing out vast amounts of energy. And I'm talking about just using land area. I mean, it's really amazing. The world could...
I mean, he's correct about that. You know, the key, like I said, the caveat there, the key to all of this working is the ability to store it. As of right now, you cannot store solar power. Not really. I mean, you're going to need to have batteries that have the capacity to be able to store the solar power. The way it works now is if you don't have sun, like if it's a cloudy day, something like that, then you're pretty much out of luck. It's like hydro. If the water is not running, then what do you have? The reason why coal and petroleum are used as fuel sources is because they can be stored. You could put them in barrels. You could put them in containers and ship them from point A to point B. But with solar, it's not quite that way. If you have the battery capacity to be able to store the energy, then you can use it. Very simple. All right. So yeah, shout out to Elon and shout out to all you guys in the chat. Shout out Man of the Face. Shout out to you, boss. Man of the Face says, the least I can do, much love that wants to be. Okay, hold on. I got to learn how to read. Man of the Face says, the least I can do, much love for all who want to be loved. And he said that twice. Shout out to you, boss. I appreciate you. Let's keep on rocking and rolling. Now, look, have you guys seen this picture of Marco? Now, the thing about Marco is that he's working like 15 jobs right now, okay? So he's tired. Marco Rubio is working like 15 jobs. I think he has a deputy position somewhere along with his normal position. He's all over the place doing a lot of different things. And I understand why they want him to do so many things because he's really good. I like Marco Rubio. I think he's going to have a great future in politics. Maybe he could be the president or vice president one day. The way it's looking right now, I think he could run alongside a J.D. Vance. That'd be a powerful ticket. Okay, you got a Hispanic, Cuban, can pick it the panty, really easy, really well, smart guy, good guy, sharp on his feet, straightforward, strong-willed. He'd be a good pair with J.D. Vance. Okay, but he's tired, and I understand. I get it, bro. They're working you to death, but it'll all pay off, man. It'll all pay off. Hey, whatever Trump does to keep himself awake and keep himself, motivated and rocking and rolling, I think Marco should do the same thing. I read somewhere that Trump gets 4 to 5 hours of sleep a night, like 4 hours of sleep a night at 78, 79 years old. So Marco, take a few pages from Trump's book to keep yourself up and rocking and rolling. But yeah, I definitely like Marco a lot. Okay, definitely like him a lot. Now, let's go overseas right quick. Well, let's stay overseas because we were in Saudi. Now we're going to go over to Ukraine. Now, listen, I don't think the soldiers in Ukraine really want to fight. I don't think the regular guys over in Ukraine want to become soldiers to get put in that meat grinder and get deleted within 3 to 6 months. Let's watch. So you see they're questioning them. They kind of just approaching them. Oh, there you go. Little gut punch. Little gut punch. And then we're still right up on them. Oh, there it is. Now, look, I don't know about y'all, but that does not look like someone who really wants to be part of this war. I don't think anybody really does because they know that they can't win. So you got to just resort to using the authorities to go on the street and just beat people up. Hey, you know what? You don't want to fight? All right, well, I'm just going to punch you right here. See, this is a thing that we have in America that they don't have. See, that right there would be, that'd be called police brutality. That'd be military overreach, all kind of stuff. But over there, hey man, I'm going to punch you right in your stomach and you're not going to do anything about it. What are you going to call the police? We are the police. You're gonna try to talk to the governor. You're gonna try to talk to the mayor. You're gonna try to talk about Black Lives Matter. I can't breathe. Hands up, don't shoot. Nope. Bam, right in your stomach twice. The moral of the story is appreciate what you have in America, because you don't have that all over the world. It's not that common all over the world. And if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. All righty. Now listen, this guy over in UK is being asked, hey, why should we give you, a migrant, all these things? Food, housing, clothing. Why should we give you all these things? All right, let's hear.
Why should English people pay for you to have a house?
Maybe they give me house, they give me anything I can need, they give me.
Just give it?
Yeah.
Why?
Because people in England is perfect.
Oh, so you think we're all rich people?
Yeah.
So we can give, okay. Yeah. Can I tell you something?
Okay.
We are not all rich people. If I said to you, look, we don't have enough houses in England, would that stop you coming to England?
Okay. Maybe I come back in my country and I change in another country after.
Yeah, maybe you try another country if you think that, if you realise that we can't afford England. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Now I just want everyone at home to understand that every single person in this room is absolutely desperate to come to Britain. The only reason they are here is to try to come to Britain.
Okay, so you know what? I gotta say this. The problem with guys like this and their entitlement, just give me, you guys are good. You're good people. The problem with that is that the Brits themselves allow it to happen. That's the problem. That is the ultimate problem. They allow it to happen. I mean, we've seen how soft some of our European little brothers have become. They didn't have to make a Supreme Court ruling that says a man is a man and a woman is a woman in UK recently. See, that's a problem with their governance. They're trying. They did the whole Brexit thing. They're trying to stop this, but they're not really going and doing what they have to do to totally eliminate it. They're still allowing it to happen. If they had a hardline stance on the migrants, then they would not come. Try going to China or something like that, like this, and see what happens to you. They're not going to allow it. So you got to just blame your governance of your country for allowing it. Many of the citizens don't like it, but it's up to your elected officials to do something about it. Just saying, the same thing was going on here. I could criticize us as well. Okay, we did not like the migrants flooding our country from 2020 to 2024. The problem is that Joe Biden, quote unquote, won the election. So those who voted for Joe Biden, they're to blame, because that's our policy, to just let all the migrants come in. And miraculously, when we get a new administration in office, everything just shuts down right away. Right away. See how easy it is? It's your governance. That's the problem. The same way it was our problem with our governance when Biden was in office. I criticize y'all the same way I criticize us. Does it make sense? I think it does. But yeah, shout out to that migrant and the reporter. Now, speaking about UK, this is a British comedian, okay? This is a British comedian talking about he would not be able to do his act over here in the USA. All righty, let's watch.
I don't see a way out of where we're going, and so
So when you talked about fascism in your last column,
yeah, let's call it what it is. Absolutely. I mean,
you think that's where we're heading?
People are pussyfooting around this idea. People are being deported wrongly from the States to an El Salvador jail without due process.
Like, bro, you're watching American TV. It's crazy how much the United States influences the whole world. It's crazy. The liberal talking points that we're being fed over here, they're also being fed overseas, because they're saying the exact same thing. Oh, deported wrongly to El Salvador, my due process. Where was the due process at when they allowed 20 million on the low end, probably 40 million, but at least 20 million illegal aliens into the country? Lifting up concertina wire, giving them the Olay treatment, putting them on planes, sending them all over the country, untested, unvetted. They might get HIV, AIDS, mumps, measles, tuberculosis, the plague, all of that. Go on in the country, have a good time, tear stuff up, don't worry about it.
What's that? Trump is doing deals for resources with dictators. You know, it absolutely is that, and we have to call it that, and we have to act in the way that we should have done more quickly in the 30s. I just got an offer, will you come and do a week in this club in Chicago? It's not something I'd normally do anyway, because at the moment I'd have to take a huge set of an American cityscape and 2 full-size werewolf costumes. I'd have to get those through American customs at the moment. But I wouldn't work in the States at the moment. I'd worry about them going through my jokes and ending up spending 2 days locked up without my heart medication. You know, I just would worry about it.
I mean, is that going to happen to you over here? I mean, I've not heard about anybody being locked up for jokes. Now, you might get locked up for telling bad jokes. I mean, if you're a comedian, I did not sense the comedic element. I sense a bunch of crying and whining and complaining. And see, those kind of individuals over there are going to vote for the migrants to come into the country the same way people like that over here do the exact same thing. It's no difference at all. Okay, now, this was just a funny video of President Trump talking about Pete Buttigieg, speaking about soft guys over here, making the country a mess, voting for Joe Biden, allowing the migrants to come in. Let's hear Trump talking about Pete Buttigieg and his husband.
And when they took over, Buttigieg, who has no clue, you know, he drives to work on his bicycle with his, in all fairness, with his husband on the back, which is a nice, loving relationship. But he didn't have a clue. This guy didn't have a clue. And he's actually a contender for president. Between him and Crockett, you can have that party. But he didn't know what he was doing. And when
now let's pause for a second. Now, a little bit of context. Pete Buttigieg was Secretary of Transportation. So Pete Buttigieg was in charge of FAA and stuff like this. So you're having these problems with FAA, air traffic control, all this, that, and the third. Well, Pete Buttigieg was the guy in charge, as far as I know. Am I wrong about that? What did he do during his 4-year tenure as Secretary of Transportation? How did he fix what was going on? They knew that there was problems. They knew there were issues. What did he do? Hold on. Matter of fact, I think I got a picture of Mr. Buttigieg and his bicycle. All right. I think I got a picture of him in the bicycle. I'm not quite sure that I have the husband on the back. Yeah, I'm not quite sure that the hubby is on the back of the bike, but he might as well be. Okay, he might as well be. All right, here we go. So this one right here looks like there's a guy on the back, but he's not. He has his own bike, and that's not his husband anyway. His husband. Like, what are we even saying anymore? 2025. Okay, so there he is right there on the bike. Okay. Hey, Buttigieg, all you're missing is a little horn, the little hold on. I gotta find that sound bite. All you're missing is a little bell or the horn. Okay. Matter of fact, here we go. There you go. You're missing that right there. That's all you're missing. Put that right there on the front of your bicycle, and it'll be the complete picture. Dennis the Menace as a full-grown man in the U.S. government. That's what we're producing. That's the kind of guy we're producing over here. And I don't think that that's going to be sustainable going forward. We cannot survive with a country full of Emmanuel Macrons leading the country. It's just not really going to work out too well for us, in my humble opinion. And I think y'all agree with me. I believe y'all most certainly agree. Now, let's go to some guys that got some sense, that understand how to govern, understand how to lead men, understand how to lead nations. We have our Secretary of the Treasury, Scott Bessent, talking about we've reached a 90-day pause on the U.S.-China tariffs. What was 145% tariffs on China has been reduced 30% tariffs. And I think they had a reciprocal tariff of 125% on us, and that's been reduced to 10. Great thing. Great deal. Let's watch.
We have reached an agreement on a 90-day pause. And substantially moved down the tariff levels. Both sides on the reciprocal tariffs will move their tariffs down 115%. We had very robust discussions. Both sides showed great respect. It was a chance for me to meet the Chinese delegation. The vice premier I had previously had only a video call with. Ambassador Jameson was familiar with two of the other leaders on the delegation from his previous time. So there was very good personal interaction. Both countries represented their national interests very.
So again, shout out to Scott Bessent. We got the Chinese tariffs down from 145 to 30%, which I think was back to where it was to begin with, maybe even a little bit lower, but most certainly a lot lower than it was. People were losing their minds. Hey, man, I can't get no more Fashion Nova. I can't get no more Shein. I can't fuel my shopping addiction anymore on TikTok Shop, buying a bunch of gadgets and trinkets I don't need because of the tariffs. But now you could buy all your cheap Chinese garbage yet again, and we're back in business. But there's also the legitimate concerns of small business and needed things that China produces for their actual goods they make that are not just cheap Chinese trinkets. So there's that. So I'm glad we're able to have that. Now, I think it'd be permanent because the Chinese cannot afford to keep the tariffs going. They can't afford it. Their country is collapsing worse than what happened with COVID. I watch some of these Chinese observer channels to see what's happening with their people, like to see what they're going through on the ground. Matter of fact, hold on. I'm gonna show you one of those videos right quick so you see what I'm talking about. Yeah, because they really going through it. They're going all the way through it. Let me see if I can find one right quick. And if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video.
Rise.
Do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Okay, so look, this says Shanghai's massive $90 billion project halts, signifying the end of China's economy. Okay, look, let's just show some of this. I ain't going to show too much, but I want you to get a visual of what's happening over in China right now amid the tariffs.
At the end of 2023, this blogger captured scenes from a mall located in Shanghai's urban area. Despite the surrounding real estate being priced over 120,000 yuan per square meter, the mall was eerily deserted, raising questions about whether the physical economy has reached its darkest hour. Hi everyone, I just stepped out of the deserted Shanghai 818 Plaza, which spans several floors. I'm between Shimen Road and Maoming North Road, wandering along the roughly 300-meter-long West Nanjing Road. I noticed that many shops are closed, which isn't just an isolated case. Let me tell you, this part of Nanjing Road is prime real estate. It's a traditional commercial street in Shanghai, featuring West Nanjing Road Station, serviced by Metro Lines 2, 12, and 13. What we see now are the street-facing shops of Zhongchang Building.
Well, it's kind of a long video, I don't play too much, but you can see that there's not a lot of economic activity. Hold on, let me go back a little bit. There's not a lot of economic activity.
A blogger highlighted the dire state of Shanghai's physical economy this year, noting that 80% of business owners running hotels, restaurants, and supermarkets are operating at a loss or barely breaking even. I shot this.
So they got problems. They need, like I said before, they need the tariffs to be over more than we do. We need it too. I'm not trying to downplay it. We need it too, but they really need it. Hold on. Mo says running for the village. Hey, right back to the village, but ain't no more village because it's all been developed to push the nation forward. You see, ain't no more, like a lot of the farmland, rice paddies, all of that then gone away. Okay, they got not too much arable land. It's a problem over in China. Okay, it is an issue. Now, let's come back to the USA. All right, let's come back to Congress and see what's happening over here. Now, this is, I think, who is this? Is it Debbie Dingell? Yeah, Debbie Dingell, the Democratic House Rep from Michigan. All right, let's see what she got going on in D.C. Let's see what's happening. Knocked out. Hey, that right there, that's that good old church sleep. You are in the church pew, kind of like in the corner a little bit. You're not all the way in the back, but you kind of like a row or two from the back. The AC is blowing right on you. The preacher is not hooping too much. He ain't doing all that. He just kind of just talking. Welcome, 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 brothers, sisters. Please turn to in Ephesians 5:12 and let's read together. Oh, hey man, I'm asleep. I am asleep. Right before the elbow from your grandmama or the pinch from your mama, this right here, you are having the best sleep of your life. You wake up mid-sermon, now he's hooping, and God said, you like, man, what is going on? What is happening? I don't know. I'm slobbing everywhere. I'm slobbing on the Bible. Man, it's a mess. But that sleep, I tell you, it's the best you're ever going to have in your whole life in church. But all jokes aside, Debbie Dingle, really? Is that what we paying you $174,000 a year to do, is get church sleep? I mean, good night. Good night. I would have the decency to at least wake up from my church nap and put in a collection plate. You, on the other hand, are just taking from the taxpayer. So I don't like that. But I do like church sleep. So shout out to that. Hey, knocked out. I ain't talking about just like a little brief, like, you know, sometimes that can happen. I'm talking about sleeping. Head back, all of that. Eyes closed, sleep. Hey, man. I know it's a rough job being a house rep. I know it's rough having to go to D.C. and actually work. You know, you only work a few days of the year. You work less than you work not much time at all. You don't do too much. So it's okay. Now, the people who do work in D.C. are people like RFK Jr., Donald Trump, Marco Rubio, J.D. Vance, etc. But also a lot of your protesters who maybe they're paid, maybe they're not paid. Now, let's watch this. This was so funny because you're going to see at least two protesters. One is usual suspect, typical white liberal, getting paid, George Soros, whatever. Then you have another one who is not so typical, but this makes sense considering who this is. It's RFK Jr. He wants to make America healthy again. And some people don't want to see healthy Americans because it'll impact their bottom line in a negative way. Let's watch.
He supports these goals and reflects.
Now, shout out to the cop for getting that person up out of there expeditiously, getting this bull dagger looking like Casey Jones from the Turtles. You're looking like that right now with the crazy boxed up haircut. Shout out to the cop for getting that person up out of the room immediately.
The witness will suspend. The committee will come to order. Capitol Police are asked to remove the individuals from the hearing room. Members of the audience are reminded disruptions will not be tolerated.
Now, there was one more person who got removed. Like I said, it wasn't just that one individual with the crazy box hairstyle. It wasn't just them. Casey Jones, April Jones, whoever from the Turtles. We also have Ben from Ben & Jerry's. Yes, the ice cream man. Ben from Ben & Jerry's was there acting the fool and had to get escorted out. Let's watch, shall we?
Members of the audience are reminded disruptions will not be permitted while the committee conducts its business. Capitol Police are asked to remove the individuals from...
Stand up, Ben. Come on, man. It's time to go. Hey, shout out to my man right here. All right, Ben. It's time to go. All right, you got to get up out of here. But look, you know what? Let me tell you why Ben from Ben & Jerry's ice cream was acting the fool with RFK. Okay, two reasons. First of all, I think I think Ben & Jerry's has become a woke ice cream company. So they're always trying to do this kind of thing. Maybe leaning into the wokeness has become profitable for them. But also, Ben & Jerry's sells ice cream. All these food dyes and unhealthy things, the sugar, the crazy way they probably process their food, the shortcuts and the corners they cut. All of that is the exact thing that RFK Jr. is targeting. So, of course, you're going to be upset. You're going to be a crash out if you think your bottom line is going to be affected, especially if that guy is the opposite of you politically. You kill two birds with one stone. You try to protect your business and you reaffirm your commitment to being woke and on the left, which has become profitable for you at this point. You become the woke ice cream company. So, yeah. Shout out to the big back snack vendors. Listen, you're going to suffer and it's okay. Just because you have a business and you have jobs does not mean that you should just be allowed to do whatever you want to do, which is going to endanger the public. I mean, Big Pharma, there's plenty of people that work in Big Pharma. That's a big job right there. If you're able to get a Big Pharma job in DC, you've made it. You've pretty much won a lottery. But at what cost? At the health of the American people. That's the cost, because we see what Big Pharma does, from the vaccinations, from the drugs, the fentanyl, the opioids. We see what they do. Appalachia, Ohio, West Virginia, etc., impacted negatively by the opioids on purpose, and they got sued and lost. So at what cost are you able to have these jobs and these big monies being given to people to work and pretty much do nothing? But yeah, shout out to Ben from Ben & Jerry's acting the fool. And we have some more people here. These are Democrat protesters storming the Rayburn building and staging the insurrection in D.C. on, what was this? This was on yesterday, Tuesday. All right. And it's funny how the left always talk about January 6th like it was the worst thing in the world. They talk about J6 like it's worse than Pearl Harbor, 9/11, all of that. It was not, but they speak about it that way. Now, this is one of many protests that happens all over D.C. and in the Capitol that somehow get ignored because it's the left doing it and not the right. And you know what? The craziest part about this is, like, you got the certain people in the front or right within the clear camera view. The disabled black guy, he's probably LGBT and some more stuff too. Okay, that's pretty much their thing. Elderly person, migrant, all kind of things. All they do is operate on your identity. And if you are different than them politically, all of a sudden your identity doesn't matter. It's funny how that works. Your identity only matters when you agree with them politically. Okay, well, let's talk about that then. Talk about the politics part rather than the identity part, rather than leading with that. All right, but yeah, shout out to them. And if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Hey, Hot Wheels, yeah, shout out to Jasmine Crockett talking about Hot Wheels. Okay, now, hey, you right on point speaking about Hot Wheels, because I got a Jasmine Crockett video for you right here talking about, well, they got to get a safe white boy, quote unquote, safe white boy, to run in 2028. Now, we can squabble about her method of communication, talking about white boy, all this, that, and the third. We can say it's racist, and that's fine. But the reality is they don't have anybody other than Gavin Newsom to run. Who is going to be the 2028 Democratic presidential nominee if not for a white guy? Go back to what was working. Straight white guys. Go back to that. Barack Obama was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. His time has come and gone, and it never happened again. It will never happen again. So now go back to the basics. Go back to what worked. Women as a president is not going to work because women don't want that. Men don't want that. Americans don't want that. You tried it with Hillary, you tried it with Kamala, you failed. You tried to push people like Cory Booker to the front, and he's goofy as goofy can be. He cannot recreate the Obama energy. You try to recreate Obama and Hakeem Jeffries. He is not going to be able to take to the next level. He doesn't have that charisma. Okay, this guy has the personality of a piece of lumber on the ground, untreated, everything, unpainted. Anyway, let's just hear from Jasmine about that.
It is this fear that the people within the party, within the primary system, will have about voting for a woman, because every time we voted for a woman, we've lost so far. And I think that that's a natural fear, because we just want to win. So there's a lot of people that are like, you know what? Like, let's go find the safest white boy we can find. I mean, I'm just saying.
Those are the callers that we're hearing. We're hearing people.
No, for real.
A white man's got to do it. We're getting those callers.
For real. And to be clear, when we talk about them, I can tell you that there is one specific candidate. I had a donor on the phones with me telling me that all the donors are lining up behind that candidate. So I can tell, and I can tell you, it's not a black person nor woman. Okay, so like, it is, they have, quote unquote, they have chosen. And when I say they, it's the same donors that most likely had their opinions about Joe Biden and move. So like, that would be the they that I would talk about.
Now look, at the end of the day, everyone knows you guys don't have anybody. The women you tried to push forward didn't work. Hillary Clinton, y'all thought Hillary Clinton was going to be the next president in 2008. Y'all thought it was going to be her, but Barack Obama came in and said, nope, not today. It didn't work in 2008 when you ran Hillary, nor in 2016 when you ran Hillary, nor in 2020 when you ran Kamala Harris. It's not going to work. So who do you have? You think that America is going to vote for Jasmine Crockett? America places Jasmine Crockett in the same lane as Nene Leakes from The Real Housewives. They put her in that category, entertaining to watch and hear from, but they don't like what you're saying for real. And you'll be kept right there in that space, and that's it. You'll be a House rep, maybe a senator, but you won't even ascend to the governor, let alone become the president, because you're not somebody that people watch for her intellect. That's not what it is. So who do you have? Gavin Newsom, obviously the governor of California, Nancy Pelosi's nephew. He's doing the podcast, talking Charlie Kirk. He's getting views. People like him a little bit. That's leftist. That's your best bet. Pete Buttigieg, LGBTQ elemental P, 5'5" with a man on the back of the bicycle. Who do y'all think could be the Democratic presidential nominee in 2028 if not Gavin Newsom? If not Gavin, then who? Y'all let me know. Who? AOC? They're talking about something. They're going to run Bernie Sanders and AOC in 2028. It's like, Bernie, is he going to be able to make it to the midterms, let alone 2028? This guy's 87 years old. Nah, actually, Bernie is how old? 84, I think. He'll be 84 September the 8th. Bernie Sanders was born September the 8th, 1941. So I'm no mathematician, but it's 2025 right now, right? So in 3 more years, if he turns 84 this year, he'll be 87 in 2028. And if he's elected to be the president, God forbid, he would finish his term at age 91. 91 years old. Come on, man. Like, be serious. Be actually serious. It's not going to work. It's not going to happen. Okay, what is that? Boot Edge? Governor Shapiro? Well, look, it could have been Governor Shapiro, but he's Jewish, and they don't like Jews over there right now. They don't like them over there right now, so it's not going to be him. He should have been the VP nominee for Kamala rather than Tampon Tim. It should have been him, but it wasn't because of the whole Jewish thing. Oh, of course, Crystal, I agree with you. Keep the Republicans in charge? Yes, of course. Yeah, I agree with you 100%. I'm just saying, who are they going to run up against us? Because regardless of who you run up against us, they're going to lose. And I don't want them to win. So if the Democrats are listening to me right now, if they're watching me, listening to me, trying to strategize for the midterms of 2028, which they do, I would tell them to run Pete Buttigieg. Run him. Y'all love the LGBT so much. All right, run him. Or find you an LGBT black dude that is a drag queen performer and run him. Since y'all love them so much, y'all love that group so much, run them. Realistically, if they're trying to succeed, they're not going to do that. They're going to run with the white man, Gavin Newsom. Simple as that. Easy. Marianne Williamson. Gretchen Whitmer. Wait a minute. Gretchen Whitmer? Really? Hold on. Not Gretchen Whitmer. Hold on. Y'all know what I'm about to do right now. Y'all know where I'm going as I'm digging for a picture. You already know. Hold on. This Gretchen Whitmer, she gonna be the president. If you are so scary, you can't even show your own face in a picture, and you're trying to hide like you're 5 years old. It's like hiding behind a tree in your shack. It's like, hey, Shaq, I can actually see you behind that tree. I can actually see you. You're not really hiding. You're hiding behind a decorative yard tree. That tree is 5 foot tall, so I can see you. Your feet are bigger than the base of the actual tree trunk. I can see you. Same thing here. It's like you're 5 years old trying to hide in the fort, and you are going to be the president? Please. And it's a woman? Please, be serious. Like, if you're going to be the president, I need you to be fearless. Fearless. If anybody would be the president as a woman, it'd be Kristi Noem. But a lot of y'all don't like her because she's too hard. The whole thing with the dog, oh man, y'all, not you guys watching because you guys are beyond that. But the whole thing with the dog, oh man, that was like monumental. I was shocked at the backlash behind that. And if you guys don't remember, Kristi Noem is a farmer and she raises dogs. She had a dog. What was the dog's name? Rocket. The dog was rehomed to her because the dog had previous behavior issues at a different place. At the first home, behavior issues. So the family said, okay, you take her, him or whatever, see if you can rehabilitate. And the dog kept having problems. So what you do with the dog like that is you're going to put it down eventually. Kristi Noem put the dog down by shooting it. And people got, it was a uproar, mad. See, to me, that shows strength because rather than making somebody else do it, taking a dog to the vet and paying them $5,000, and then 2 months later, you got to put the dog down anyway. Okay, do it yourself and be done with it. That's what has to happen when you are a leader and you make decisions. Kicking the can down the road, pointing the finger at somebody else. That's not what leaders do. Leaders get things done, period. Man, that whole thing with the dog was crazy. But anyway, if anybody would be able to succeed as a president, it'd be Kristi Noem. Or a Nancy Mace, or who else would be good as a woman? That's about it, I would say. No Democrat women would be able to succeed at all. But again, women are not going to want to vote for a woman president anyway, so... And men aren't going to want to vote for one president either. She's a cruel woman. She's so cruel. Poor dog. Man, come on. Dogs get put down every single day, but the vet do it, so you don't got to have that on your conscience. Anyway, let's watch this from Hakeem Jeffries, the Timu version of Barack Hussein Obama. All right.
Your statement the other day after there was this incident in Newark, you said they better not touch our members.
Correct.
What happens if they were to go and arrest these members, or if they would try to sanction them here in the House of Representatives?
They'll find out.
What would you do, though? What recourse? But doesn't that broach a...
They'll find out.
Doesn't that go across...
That's a red line.
What's the red line, though? I know we have this...
It's a red line. It's very clear. First of all, I think that the so-called Homeland Security spokesperson is a joke. It's a joke. They know better than to go down that road, and it's been made loudly and abundantly clear to the Trump administration. We're not going to be intimidated by their tactics to try to force principled opposition from not standing up to their extremism. It hasn't happened during the entirety of this failed term. It didn't happen when Donald Trump temporarily was sitting high in the immediate aftermath of the election. Do you think it's going to happen now?
Okay, so that's Hakeem Jeffries. Yeah, somebody said it. Robot. Definitely robot personality. No juice. So if this guy is trying to become the president, potentially, they might want to have him run. He has nothing. It's like talking to Terminator, RoboCop, Judge Dredd. Zero personality, zero kind of energy, zero pizzazz, just robot, straightforward. Okay. Like, are you even a human being? Do you have a spirit, a soul in your body, or am I looking at an AI in a human being's skin? What's going on? Anyway, now here we go with AOC speaking some of the same thing, talking about the migrants, trying to defend the migrants, saying that they are best friends, all this, that, and the third. Let's watch.
And now what DHS is trying to say, again, they're using public intimidation because they know that they cannot come for us all. They know that they cannot come for us all. And recently what they said is that DHS is allegedly looking into arresting members of Congress who were showing up for their legal and constitutional obligation to conduct oversight. If anyone's breaking the law in this situation, it's not members of Congress, it's the Department of Homeland Security. It's people like Tom Homan and Secretary Kristi Noem. You lay a finger on someone, on Representative Bonnie Watson Coleman, on Representative, or any of the representatives that were there, you lay a finger on them, we are going to have a problem. Because the people who are breaking the law are the people who are not abiding by it. And it is enshrined in the law that members of Congress who show up to ICE and CBP facilities are required to be granted access, legally required to be granted access. And they legally cannot be inhibited from accessing these facilities to conduct their constitutional obligation to investigate and conduct oversight. So if Kristi Noem wants to break the law, that's on her. But it sure as hell is not someone like Representative Robert Menendez that needs to be arrested. Okay?
All right. So there you go. I mean, that's AOC. Imagine her as a president. Oh my goodness. Like your little sister. I was like, man, please shut up. Goodness gracious. My. Exactly. M says, voice like a 5-year-old, brain like a 3-year-old. Yes, exactly. Exactly. That right there, no way, Jose. No way. Absolutely not. Man, look, I rather would do anything else than to have her talk anymore. I don't want her to say anything else ever in my life. Now, what she was referring to, well, this is one of them here, LaMonica McIver. Fighting with an ICE agent. What are we even doing? What's up with all the cussing and hollering and carrying on? Man, look, at the end of the day, man, we don't got time for all this. If you just want to come here and rabble rouse and act a fool, we don't have time for it, man. Go back to D.C. Listen, go back to D.C. and do nothing like you were doing before. Go back to D.C. and do nothing as you were doing before. Don't get in the way of us trying to, like, do our business. You're just in the way. You're not helping. You're not doing anything. You're just causing the problem. And now you want to talk in front of the cameras like you done did something. It's just political posturing, and you're really just in the way. That's all. You're in the way for political purposes. Let's watch this here.
It is unacceptable that me, as a member of Congress, as a black woman here in this city, was just assaulted by multiple ICE officers. While regional directors of ICE watched it happen. It is unacceptable.
So, yeah, I mean, listen, go back to D.C. and go back to doing nothing. That's what I say. Go back to doing nothing, for real, because you're in the way. And nobody has time for that. We're trying to really get things rocking and rolling. Now, let's talk about that statue, shall we? Oh, my goodness. That statue was a mess. And, you know, I'm the kind of guy, I like to go on the internets and talk to people in these different places, different blogs and whatnot. And I'm talking about the statue. And people are saying, oh, it's a great statue because I can represent, it's just like me. And, you know, she's plus size and she's beautiful. The statue is ugly. The statue is ugly. If you say anything else, you're simply lying. If you say this statue is anything else other than ugly, you're a liar. And I'm going to say that with my whole chest. I will say that with my whole chest. And hold on. They were trying to compare it to Michelangelo's David, talking about, oh, it has a contrapposto pose. It's like, really? So this is comparable to Michelangelo's David. This right here, a 12-foot tall statue of a black woman. Okay, the brassiere is not really there. You got on a t-shirt, a pair of leggings, pants. You got on the Haitian pop boots. Like, what are you about to do in this outfit right here? You could at least put on some regular, like some nice looking clothing for the statue. Okay. Did you ever have picture day when you were young, or do pictures like with your family later in life? When y'all go to a studio, you get dressed for the pictures and you look nice. Your Sunday's best. You may not be some type of supermodel, you know, whatever, but you're going to look nice for a thing like a family picture. So why wouldn't the statue have on clothing that would look nice? This right here is a monument to mediocrity. That's what it is. Nobody does this in any other culture, in any other country other than the USA. You don't put up a 12-foot tall statue in Times Square of mediocrity. If you have a statue, it should be aspirational and inspirational, and or an historical figure. Ben Franklin, Abraham Lincoln, guys like this. Okay, Booker T. Washington, Harriet Tubman, people like this. People that have actually done things in this world, and others can gain aspiration from seeing these people who are great in the past. It's simple. Let's say you have a town named for someone. It makes sense to have that guy the town was named for immortalizing the statue right downtown. Okay, you're in Batesville. Okay, let's put up Charles Bates right in the town center. That makes sense. But who is this? Average, mediocre, Popeye chicken worker off a long shift? Yes, people like that exist, but go to Europe. Are you going to see statues of regular common people not in their Sunday's best, not looking the best physically? Is that what you're going to see? Or are you going to see saints, historical figures, beautiful artwork by renowned artists? You're going to see that because it boosts the morale of people and it inspires them for greatness. When you go to like Soviet Union, a lot of the drab and dreary environments lead to a drab and dreary attitude. So you go over there and nobody's smiling. What's it to smile about? I live in the old block. It's got all kind of rodents in it. It's not really a beautiful place to be. This kind of reminds me of that. So when I saw the statue, I was completely offended. And the guy, hold on, let me see if I can find the guy. What's the guy's name? Thomas J. Price. Okay, black guy from England. So this guy not even an American. You're not even an American doing that to us. I see that as a form of subversion. I see that as subversion because you're coming over here and you starting stuff so you're able to go back with your halfway mix or whatever wife. Okay, you're able to go back to UK and you get money. I don't like that at all. Let me see if I can find the guy's wife. And if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. But yeah, it could be a statue of a black family. It could be so much more than what it was. All right. It could be so much more than what it was, but of course it wasn't. All right. Let me see if I got the picture of the wife. Maybe I don't. Let's just watch this right here. Here we go. Here's the guy. All right. That's the guy right there. Now, you look to be pretty well dressed. You got your little shacket with your khakis and whatnot, clean shaven. Why couldn't you dress the statue like that? You got her in a t-shirt and a pair of leggings. The brassiere is not really brassiereing. The Haitian pop shoes, men's shoes. So that's the guy right there. So I'm not sure if he's over here, if he's living, if he's a citizen of the United States now. But if he's over here at all, he needs to get deported and deport that statue right along with him. Put him on the boat. Put him on the boat ride. Put the statue underneath the boat and put him on top and float him right back to UK. That's what I say. Okay, give him back to UK. That's what I want to do. Because you're just trying to start things over here. Now let's watch some of this. Let's watch people lie about how much they love this statue.
Who do you think she is?
She's everyone. She's anybody. She's my friend. She's me.
Why do you think this is here?
I mean, two white male statues.
They don't look white, those other men. And the other explanation was there's two white men.
Now, these statues are right here because these guys have historical significance, and they're right there in the plaza. They've been there for forever. The statue of the black woman is much bigger and taller than those statues, and it's right in between them. So these guys, you see how they dressed. Sunday's best, elegant poses, very well done. It looks like it makes sense. It's not trying to send a statement. It's not trying to attack. But the statue of the black woman is like the 800-pound gorilla versus 100 men. It's kind of like that.
Memorialized in this little square that we're in right now, and they wanted to combat that by putting a much, much larger statue of a black woman.
She got attitude, she has confidence.
Challenges the notion of who deserves to be monumental. And who...
Why does this woman deserve to be monumental?
Well, she's everyone.
First of all, am I supposed to know who she is?
I don't think so.
She's obviously larger than life.
She's big.
I don't mind if they'll make a statue of me and put it somewhere.
I just don't understand why art can't be art. Why does it have to be combative?
You guys are from Nepal.
Nepal?
You're a long way from home. Yeah. And you are Michael Jackson.
All right, now we're going to get into some silly stuff. Talking about, I'm a Michael Jackson impersonator from Nepal. All right. Yeah, shout out to Michael, though, the best entertainer of all time. A guy from Nepal, way up there, north of India, south of China, up in the mountains. Okay, up in the what's it, the Himalayas? Up in the Himalayas. He knows Michael very well to the point he's an impersonator of Michael. So shout out to Michael and shout out to them. But that statue, there's nothing I got to say that's positive about that. I think it's a mess. I think it's an attack on this country from a foreigner, from a guy over in UK trying to demoralize us. I don't like it. And if anybody says, oh, ABL, you hate yourself, man, please. I actually am trying to defend the black community, but people don't want to defend it. So whatever. It's whatever. I'm going to do what I say. I'm going to say what I say regardless. All right. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. All righty. Let's come back. I think this is a graduation speech or something. Okay, we got some wokesters giving graduation speeches. Let's watch this one.
Always. To everyone in Missouri currently affected by the Trump administration, listen to me now. Do not give up. Do not stop fighting. Fight for you, fight for your family, fight for everyone you know, because this country is headed towards a second fucking Holocaust.
Bow. All righty, so the crowd goes wild. Young lady, it's gonna be okay. Ain't gonna be no Holocaust. It's gonna be okay. You get up in the morning, you're gonna have sunshines, rainbows, butterflies, all that. It's gonna be okay. Don't worry about nothing. All righty? You and your Chuck Taylors are gonna be totally fine. It's okay. I promise. So yeah, that's what's happening. I don't know where they get that. I guess that's, social media programming, TikTok, all that kind of stuff. That's kind of what's going on with that. All right, that's what that is. Now let's go to New York, staying in New York with the whole statue thing. Okay, now this person is a New York City mayoral candidate. New York City's in a bad situation. I don't know who they're going to have to run that thing, but they got to find somebody because that's a very important place in this country. And if we have bad leadership in New York City, that's going to impact the entire nation negatively. But let's watch this.
The first thing to do is to actually live up to the laws that we have here in New York City, which are sanctuary city policies. These are policies that have been defended by Republicans and Democrats alike for...
The music is killing me. Let's start from the top.
The first thing to do is to actually live up to the laws that we have here in New York City, which are sanctuary city policies. These are policies that have been defended by Republicans and Democrats alike for decades, and yet Eric Adams has fear-mongered about them for such an extensive period of time that we've come to think of them as the illustration of all that's wrong with the city, when in fact it is an evidence-based approach that has made us safer across New York City. It's actually reduced crime. What I would do is not only stand up for those policies, but would strengthen them. I would establish an oversight commission that would ensure we have 100% compliance with the law, which is that New York City schools, hospitals, properties, as well as properties of city contractors are not to allow ICE agents. The first thing.
All right, so there you go. So this guy is campaigning on strengthening the sanctuary city laws in New York City. Now, if he wins, then it's New York City's fault. And if you guys are in New York City and this guy becomes a mayor, I don't know what you're going to do, man. May God bless you, because it's going to be rough. It's going to be rough. Oh, it makes us so much safer. Then why did crime rise so much in Midtown? What did they say? Like 3 out of every 4 crimes were committed by a migrant. And how much did you spend on these people that came straight from the taxpayer? You guys had to cut services, or you were going to cut services, to pay the billions of dollars that the migrants cost. So you got crime increasing. You have the cost to feed, educate, house them is going to be through the roof. How is that helping regular, everyday New York City residents? I'm having a hard time being able to figure it out. They're not telling you what's really going on. Now, one thing they could say is, well, New York City is aging and there's not enough young people to do these jobs, so we got to bring in slave labor. Just say that. But see, they wouldn't just kind of tiptoe around it. Say what you got to say. Say it with your chest. But if they say the real thing, then that's going to be something negative, because we fought a war in this country to end slavery. Now, if you want to go back to that, people are not going to like it too much. But you need to be open and honest so we know what's going on. And if you're not open and honest, then you're just a liar. And why would I vote for you if you're a liar? Especially since I, as a taxpayer, living in a place like New York City, if I lived it, which I don't, but I got to foot the bill for it. So you're going to lie to me and make me pay for it. And then if I complain about it, you say that I'm a racist and I'm a bigot. Make it make sense. But speaking about the migrants and whatnot, let's show some of these numbers here.
Attorney General Pam Bondi announcing the largest fentanyl bust in our nation's history. Let's take a look at what they're finding. And there is really a story here at the West. As you know, people cross the border. A lot of the cartel activity is there. And now they're flooding those drugs to the West. Look at Las Vegas. You got 2.7 kilograms of cocaine that is caught. You got in Phoenix, 2.4 pounds of heroin, 5 kilograms of cocaine, 72 pounds of methamphetamine. And then if you go all the way to Santa Fe, over 100,000 fentanyl pills. Those are deaths are going to be followed by that. And if you look at Albuquerque, 396 kilos of fentanyl pills. And always remember, where there's drugs, there's also guns as well. That's why you see those firearms that are there.
So look, the issue with the southern border is much more than just the people that come across. That's a big problem. The biggest problem is the people that come across, but there's also drugs and guns. So if you're trying to have the American people become more healthy, become more fruitful and productive, what you want to do is shut the border down to get all these drugs and guns up out of here. Because the fentanyl, that's killing us. The meth, fentanyl, all of that is killing us. And a lot of it comes from the southern border being wide open. Now, the border is closed. You're going to see a decrease in opioid deaths, overdoses, a decrease in gun crime because fewer guns coming across, a lot fewer guns coming across. It just kind of makes sense to me. But, you know, the liberal people, they don't really understand that. All they know is, okay, I want to defend the migrants, welcome everybody into the country, come one, come all. Nah, we're not really going to do that. We are not going to do that. Now, let's get forward a little bit and talk about the issue of the Transformers being banned from the military. This was a great thing in my humble opinion, because a lot of these men, because that's the problem, is the men, LGBTQ, LMNOP, X, Y, and Z men join the military for the free sex change. That's the whole purpose. And when they get the sex change, they become unusable. They become useless because they have to heal from the surgery. It's like getting a BBL, and that's a very invasive procedure. You pretty much can't do anything for a very long time. You're a definite health risk. You can't fight if you need to. So what's the point of having you join the military if you're going to be like that? So look, check it out. Libs of TikTok, trans person who got gender affirmation from wearing an Air Force uniform is now fleeing the U.S. after getting kicked out of the military. Let's watch.
Hi.
All right, hold on.
Hi, everyone. I just want to give an update. Today's my first day in uniform, and it feels very gender affirming. I am so happy to just be able to be myself while in uniform, and I just wanted to give y'all that update that trans people exist. We're in the military and having such a great time. So to all those who support me, thank you, and know that it means the world. And more to come. Hi.
Okay, so that's the Transformer right there. That is a man, of course. Now, this guy is leaving the country because he got booted from the military. Okay, looking a lot more homely now in the vehicle. Let's watch.
I've tried to make this video so many times, and I'm just stumbling because I don't know. So I'm just gonna...
You're looking like Anthony Edwards and Julius Randle and me combined. You're looking like a whole boy, but let's start from the top.
I've tried to make this video so many times, and I'm just stumbling because I don't know. So I'm just gonna spit it out. After I get put out the military, like, I need help moving, like out of the country. There's nowhere on earth I want to go more than like to move to France. Like, that's all I want. And I have...
Hey, of course you're going to go to France. Where else other than France? France is the Meg of Europe. So yeah, go over there with Macron and them. Yeah, that'd be a great destination. Do you parlez-vous français or no? Okay, well, get your Duolingo, brush up on the Francais, because they ain't picking no English like that, okay, outside of Paris.
Friends that are willing to help, but I'm so scared and I'm nervous and I'm like panicking because, you know, this is like a big move. It's big. So I am just going to ask if you have moved to the country, if you are able to help me find a job, if you are able to help me navigate. I just need help, and that's what I'm here to ask for.
All right, there we go. So this person, the Transformer, got booted from the military because he's a Transformer, is now going to go to France. All right, so yeah, that's a, hey, you know what? I hate to give that guy to y'all over in Europe. I hate to do that, but if anybody deserves it, it'd be France. If anyone, I would say, yeah, that'd be right on point. You know, go over there, go to Paris and be with your other people in that particular area. Holla at Macron and see what you can do as far as living there permanently. That's what I would say. All right, live there permanently. And you know what? I think I'll be able to find a good Frenchman who doesn't fall into the weird Frenchman. Get one of those guys to trade for him. That'd be a nice even trade. Somebody said go to Saudi Arabia. Yeah, I don't think you want to do that. I don't think you want to go Middle East. You know, hey man, it'd be all bad, all the way bad. Now, here is Democratic Senator Chris Murphy talking about it is okay to allow Transformers to invade women's sports. And of course, when I say that, Transformers, I'm talking about men infiltrating women's sports. Let's watch.
Don't have any fear of transgender athletes participating in sports, but
well, no, well, wait, just so you don't have any fear of it. Do you think it's if you had a daughter competing against a biological male, would you find it unfair?
I don't.
Come on, let's get to the actual point. Let's get to the answer to the question.
I I don't have girls, right? So I necessarily can't, right? I can't put myself in that position.
Have some empathy, right? For those of us who do, right? So would you find it unfair?
I mean, I've talked to lots of parents of girls in Connecticut who do not think it's unfair, and who think that the benefits that those athletes get from being part of a team, is important, and they don't mind or feel threatened by the competition. I think everybody can come to their own conclusion, but your conclusion is the official line of liberalism right now. It's you're saying you don't. Yes, my conclusion is that I would support those athletes being able to participate in my community, right? In my community, but I would not substitute my judgment and my community's judgment for another community's judgment.
But bro, you're actually a senator. You're in government, bro. Like, the things that you decide impact the nation. So it's important to have your point of view be heard. Don't get around it. Oh, well, nah, man. Say what you gotta say. Say it with your whole chest, because you're a senator in the in DC, not just a local guy, but you're in DC, bro. Your opinion matters because you're going to vote on things that are going to affect me and all of us as U.S. citizens. Like, what are we really doing? These people, man, they make no sense. Now, look, watch this. This is Marissa Rothenberger, a.k.a. Charlie Rothenberger. He is a 6-foot-tall male who has invaded a girls' high school softball team. Look at this Randy Johnson looking, Greg Maddux looking. Look at this guy.
That one was high and hot. Swing and a miss.
She reared back and unleashed one.
See how she whips it? The long arms is just such an advantage. The way Rothenberger is pitching, it might as well be 8-0.
When boys play girls softball, they win and girls lose. Exactly.
Or something right now.
Mm-hmm. But wow.
So, but look at this though, man. Like, hold on. Let's go back. Look at this. How is this fair? How is this fair? 6-foot-tall boy playing against little girls. It's just not right, man. It's not right. I'm telling you, the next thing is you're going to have Transformers that play basketball, and that's going to be a mess. You're going to have these guys looking like LeBron James out there doing 360 windmill dunks all on the girl. They ain't gonna have no chance. When you see a bunch of girls get dunked on by these boys, I'm talking about they're going to be feet up in the air like Joe Biden. After they get dunked on. It's going to be a mess. Don't allow it to happen in your area, anywhere else. Please, please, please don't allow it to happen, because it's not right. It's not right. It's not fair. Let women have women's sports for women, please. Women and girls, let them have their spaces. To the men out there, do not invade women's spaces. Don't do it. You have your space. Let them have their space, and respect both. Respect both. Simple. Juwanna Man, exactly, TJ. Juwanna Man in real life. Now, this is a female priest with he, him pronouns. Okay, now, I don't know what the actual inspo, what they say, what the cool kids say, inspo, inspiration for this look is. But you're looking like a little boy, basically, but you're a female. But you look like a little boy from 1950s. You're looking like you might have been on the front of a cereal box in 1957. Well, let's watch.
Dear white people, stop trying to get invited to the cookout. Hi, I'm a white, red, Native American person, and it's Murdered and Missing Indigenous Peoples Day, which means we gotta talk. All right, so I want to talk about performative allyship and why it's a problem. So I see this idea of getting invited to the cookout as the sort of the modern, I have black friends because it means you've arrived, right? But I need you to be very, very for real right now. There are some black people that have experienced so much racism at the hands of white people that they will never be okay with your presence. And I know that that's hard to swallow because you're like, but I'm good. No. If you're good, you will understand. It does not matter how cool and friendly and besties you are with Shamika if her grandmother can't relax around you.
Wait. Okay, are we just trolling? Is that what's going on? Shamika? Shamika? What?
And I know that you want to prove yourself, but you can't.
Okie dokie. Man, look. Hey, you know what? I'm almost speechless. There's so much going on here. You look like a 15-year-old boy. First of all, you're probably like 30 years old and you're a female. That's number one. Number two, a collar for what? Why are you a woman wearing a collar? And why are you a they, them wearing a collar? Why? And Shamika, is that what you came up with? Is that what you came up with? Hey, so you're my ally, right? So you're going to call me a stereotypical name? All right. What's Becky, Linda, Susan? Does that feel good? Hey, man, y'all got to check these people, man. Hey, please listen. Y'all got to get your niece. Get your niece. Listen, y'all saw your niece doing some strange things when they were like 12 years old and nobody intervened. And now we have Dennis the Menace out here acting the fool with her collar on, talking about Shamika don't like you. Gotta be a troll. Gotta be. But you know what? At this point, I think people are trolling and they're dead serious. They are dead serious. They are not playing any games at all. All right. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Man, these people are nuts. I promise you they are. They are absolutely ridiculous. All right, let's keep on rocking and rolling. Now, there's a story for some reason about Joe Biden's mental decline. Like, we didn't see that. I think we all saw that Joe Biden was in decline in 2020 before he became the president, quote unquote. Before he became the president, we all saw him decline. Everybody knew it. If you've been watching politics for any amount of time, you saw Joe Biden during the Obama administration, and the Joe Biden back then was much different than the Joe Biden in 2019, 2020. So we saw the decline, and he was a moron from the beginning, even under Obama. Obama himself did not want Joe Biden to run for president because he knew he was a moron. Biden was a moron in 2008, in 1978, and most certainly in 2020, 2018, 2019, he was a even worse moron. So let's watch this over on CNN about the whole Joe Biden cover-up, bad health, decline kerfuffle. Let's watch.
Watching him on The View today and watching some of the interviews he did over.
Thank you for your viewership.
Yeah, I saw it. It's rare for me, but I did watch it.
You like Anna. That's what it is.
I will just say, watching him over the last few days reminded me that a whole bunch of people were telling us with a straight face that this man was capable of serving another 4 years as president. And that these appearances, coupled with what I understand is going to be the equivalent of a nuclear bomb dropped on the Democratic Party when Jake Tapper and Alex Thompson's book come out next week, I don't know that the Democrats have fully internalized what's about to happen to them. Watching him on The View today and watching...
Yeah, Joe Biden on The View was terrible. We'll get to that in a minute. Okay, let's keep on rocking and rolling.
They lied. They knew he wasn't capable of running again, which also, by the way, means he wasn't capable of holding the office at the time. And now they're trying to get everybody to move on. There are legitimate questions about what these Democrats knew, when they knew it, and did they put the country through the biggest cover-up and scandal in modern American political history. It's pretty obvious from this book that's coming out and other accounts that maybe they did.
And I'm kind of surprised to hear you're mad about it.
I'm not. I am mad because I vote in this country. And here's what I'd like to know. Was the elected president of the United States so impaired that he wasn't making the decisions on behalf of the government? That's the question of the day.
Jamie.
Very good question because, okay, we know now that Joe Biden, I mean, we knew it back then, but we know for certain now, they're even admitting it on the left now that he is impaired and he was impaired throughout the entire presidency. So if he was impaired, then was he able to actually make any kind of decisions? Was he able to actually be the president? Was he able to govern by himself? No, he wasn't, obviously. The whole auto pen kerfuffle, the staff in D.C. ran the show he was the figurehead, and it's obvious.
First of all, the Democrats hate this story, and I can't wait to read Jake Tapper's new book. But the reality is, if you had eyes and ears, you knew that it was not a secret that Joe Biden was old, and it was not a secret that he was having good days and bad days. The truth of the matter is, these Democrats did not want Biden to run again, and they thought he was going to be a transitional president. And then Joe Biden, people close to him, family, aides, he decided he was going to run again. And as Scott says, Democrats, look, they don't want to look backwards on this. They're looking for a bigger desk to hide under until the story goes away.
And you know what? The thing about it is, if he was going to be a one-term guy, a transitional guy, quote unquote, then there should have been a plan from the beginning to have a successor. That should have been the plan from the beginning. So you have to understand, okay, if we're going to force him out, if he doesn't want to drop down, we need to have a vice president who will be suitable to be able to run when we force him out. But who did they put up there? Kamala Harris. She can't put two words together. Cackling and giggling for no reason at all. A whole big mess. Talking in parables. Worse than Joe Biden, even the 1,000-year-old version of Joe Biden. Worse than that. We knew that Kamala was bad from the beginning, and we knew that Joe Biden was not going to go more than one term from the beginning. But yet they didn't prepare. They kicked the can down the road. And then when it came time to face the music, they fell apart. It worked well for us because we succeeded. We won. So it was a great thing for us. We just went ahead and curb stomped them. But for them, they lost. And they're going to keep doubling down on that. If they want to keep doing that, they're going to keep on losing, and that's fine. That's totally fine. We'll take it. We'll take the victory. You're making it easier for us. You're making it much easier for us. Now, this was funny. Okay. Another stumbling, bumbling, fumbling mess when asked about Joe Biden and the whole cover-up situation. Let's watch.
Should he not have run because of mental decline or for some other reason?
I think he shouldn't have run because I think that he had gotten to a point, I wouldn't say of mental decline, but of decline that put him in a position of not being able to wage a vigorous campaign against Donald Trump. And there's no way you can beat Donald Trump unless you can wage a vigorous campaign.
But you knew that from the beginning. You knew that. So why act like y'all didn't know and y'all were just, you kicked the can down the road. And then when it came time to face the music, now you want to start pointing fingers.
And he couldn't do it.
Why wouldn't you say mental decline? Did you not see that publicly?
I didn't see. Well, look, the first thing that I really saw, other than one visit to the White House on an immigration matter, there was about, I think, 6 weeks before this, was when I saw his debate with Donald Trump. And I think I was the first Democrat to publicly say on network television that we were going to lose in a landslide if he stayed at the top of the ticket.
And the thing about it is, so Joe Biden ran. He actually ran in 2024, and he was a nominee. At the end, after all the primaries were over with, they decided to just put Kamala Harris right there, which is completely a violation of anything that you would consider democracy, the democratic process. We're not a democracy here. We know we're a republic, but you know what I'm saying? Like the voting process. Okay, if I vote for Joe Biden, I want Joe Biden to run. I did not vote for Kamala Harris to run. Talking about something, oh, she was on the ticket. Well, in the primary, you voting for the president, not the vice president. You voting for the president. Because remember, I don't think the vice president was even revealed on Trump's side until he won the primary. Until after the primary, then they unveiled J.D. Vance at the RNC. That's the way it works. You're not voting for the vice president. You're voting for the president. They decided to replace him with her. That's not how it works, but they did it. They did it, and they lost. They got curb stomped. Democrats hated her on the campaign trail. Now, this right here was funny. From back to Hakeem Jeffries again. He was asked the same question about Joe Biden's decline. Listen to what he says. This is hilarious.
A number of different revelations coming out about President Joe Biden's decline with recent books. Is it helpful for your caucus for these to come out now? And would you want Biden to campaign for House Democrats?
We're not looking backward, we're looking forward at this particular moment in time.
Did you really not have...
Hey, man, we're going to go forward, man. Don't worry about that. Look, hey, stop bringing up old stuff, man. We're not going backward, we're going forward. Stop bringing up old stuff, okay? Look, we're not worried about that. Happened in the past. So it is what it is, man. We knew he was pretty much dead. We ran him. So what? It is what it is. We lied to you for years about his condition, but let's let bygones be bygones. Water under the bridge. Let's build that bridge and get up over it. All right, let's keep on going.
Have any idea that he was not fit to serve a second term?
Casey, we're looking forward.
You're facing all of this because you lost a presidential election. And is that not Joe Biden's responsibility for deciding to run again?
We're looking forward.
That's it?
That's it.
Democrats now facing mounting questions about President Biden's decline and the alleged cover-up as new revelations continue to come to light.
Hey, we're going to look forward, man. Don't worry about that. Like, that's the past. You know what I mean? Like, it's okay. We did all of that. But so what? It doesn't really matter. We're going to just keep on moving forward here. Now, let's show Joe Biden on The View right quick. Then we're going to keep on moving forward. As they say, we're going to move forward after this. Yeah. I ain't going to play too much because I'm not trying to give them too much credit.
That all the projects, the benefits. How do you lead the world without having the best infrastructure in the world? How do you lead the world without having the best healthcare in the world? How do you lead the world without having the best education system in the world? How do you lead the world when you don't have that done?
Okay, now this guy looking like he's all of 1,000 years old. Mr. Burns from The Simpsons at best. Mr. Burns from The Simpsons at best. The hands like this, the hair, the face, all of that. It's like, bro, leave him be. And what is this right here on his hand? Any nurses in the house and doctors in the house? What's that right there on the back of his hand? Is that a bruise from an IV? What are they putting in his hand? What would leave that kind of bruise on his hand? I mean, I don't believe he's doing any kind of woodworking or anything like that in his garage with the Corvette and the documents. So what's this injury right here on his hand? Can you imagine if this guy was to be the president now? Now, like in this condition, like, can you imagine them going to Saudi Arabia, meeting with Mohammed bin Salman, dealing with China, dealing with Ukraine? Can you imagine that? I mean, he would be as bad as Kamala, or Kamala might actually be worse than him. Kamala might be worse than him, but what is that right there on his hand? Okay, is it an IV? A dog? It could be a dog bite. That's funny. Because them dogs love biting. I don't know what he's doing to train them dogs to bite everybody, but yeah, he has some bitey dogs in his house. Cigarette burn. He's a vampire making more vampires. Covering his head while Jill's hitting him. Y'all are crazy. They covered up his charging port. Yeah, that's about right. You know, hook him up to the little thing at like a Tesla. Ding. All right, Mr. Biden, you'll be charged and ready to go at 10 a.m. bright and early. All right, so yeah, he went on TV like that too. You might as well put on a Michael Jackson glove. You might as well do that. Put that on and say, hey man, why are you wearing that? Oh, I'm paying homage to the GOAT. I'm paying homage to Michael with the Michael Jackson, the he. I'm paying homage to that to cover that up because that looks crazy on the back of your hand. All right, now listen. This is going to be Sean Duffy, who took over for Pete Buttigieg, talking about what Buttigieg did not do while he was on the job. Now, listen, Buttigieg, if you have the task of being in charge of planes, trains, automobiles, and you just let stuff go, you don't really get anything accomplished, then why would we want you to be anything else other than that? We don't want you to be that anymore. So you want to be the president? How? You didn't do anything in this role, so why would you do anything in the bigger role that is superseding that? Let's watch this.
Watchdog groups in government, they gave warnings to the last administration that this was a problem. Nothing was done. And so now we have solutions and fixes to the problems, but none of these you can snap your fingers and fix. They all take time. And we're going to ask the Congress for the money, the resources to make those fixes. Right. But again, it's going to be, 2, 3, 4 years before we see more air traffic controllers and we get an infrastructure that's worthy of America. into our airspace.
What's happening right now with air traffic control, they're short-staffed because of the stress of the job. They're using older technology. It's just a mess over there. And there were some warnings given to the previous administration from watchdog groups beyond the government. They were trying to tell them, hey, you got this blind spot, that blind spot. You got to fix some things. And again, they're kicking the can down the road. Let somebody else deal with it. The same thing they do with everything else. It'd be a project to upgrade technology. And they say, okay, we're going to upgrade this thing. It should take 2 years, but 35 years later, it's not done. So then you bring in better guys like Doge, and they get things done in the blink of an eye that took 35 years to do. And people are mad about it. They're mad about it because it's the same thing with the Ben & Jerry's guy. You're mad because your money's being affected. You make money off of the thing not being done or finished, but being quote unquote worked on. You work on it and make money, but if it's completed, then the money stops. That's what's going on here. Same thing with the Ben & Jerry's guy. Okay, RFK Jr. wants to make Americans healthy again by getting rid of some of these food dyes and food additives. But Ben & Jerry's, you rely upon these dyes and these additives to generate revenue because you're trying to market to the bitbacks. The bitbacks love that colorful, sweet, sugary food. They love that. It's killing Americans, but you guys love it. So you're going to keep on rocking and rolling with it. Now, the white South Africans, okay? We have some reactions to the white South Africans. Listen, for me, you're talking about 59 people, 5'9", less than 100, 59 people. Who cares? Who cares? Like, it's not even a big deal. Check it out. On a low level, on a conservative estimate, it let in 20 million illegal aliens in 2020 to 2024. A 4-year period, at least, bare minimum, 5 million illegal, unvetted people every single year. What's 59 people compared to that? And these are legal people, vetted. We know who they are. We know where they come from. We know their families. We know all of that. Rather than the 20 million on a low end that came in, we have no idea where they came from. We have no idea who they are. They could be criminals, stone cold, stomped down, crazy, sick in the head. We know nothing. But 59 people, now all of a sudden migrants are a problem for Democrats. Give me a break. But let's watch some of this.
Well, in my...
And RIP to the headphone users. I'm sorry about that. My ears are done as well. Let's start from the top here, shall we?
Well, in my view, what makes it different is that they are white South Africans. The president, in my view, has not hidden his racism behind a bushel. In fact, in his policies, whether it's removing government workers or, in this case, admitting white South Africans while denying refugee status, asylum seekers from other countries, principally Central and South American and Black nations to come into this country. And so I think that, this policy, while it's not surprising in this action, really speaks of the underlying message in this that disrespects and shows disdain for people of color while embracing these Afrikaners now, and also expediting the process by which they can come into the country while denying that same process to other refugees.
Okay, look, let's just give some numbers here because you're talking about, he's denying entry to Central Americans, South Americans, African nations, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, now listen. About 2,200 daily arrivals are immigrants or refugees who have been invited to become permanent residents of the USA. 2,200 daily. We're talking about 59 people. And guess what? The majority of that 2,200 every day, that's going to be your Central Americans. So what are we talking about here exactly? I don't understand. I don't really get it. So people are just making up stuff. They're making up stuff. All right. Now, this guy, hey, bro, if you can hear me, I need you to read a book. Read a book. I know it might be challenging, but challenge yourself, man. Let's hear this.
I need y'all to realize what Trump just did. He brought 8,000 white people out here from South Africa. Not because they need refuge. Not because they need asylum. It's because he knows these 8,000 white South African motherfuckers are racist. He knows they finna come over here and they're gonna be blatantly racist thinking that they still in South Africa.
I'm sorry for the cussing, but you already know what it is. This guy, I mean, if you could read beyond a third grade reading level, I'd be surprised.
But these 8,000 racist motherfuckers is gonna find out the hard way. They're gonna fuck around and find out. You can't talk that shit over here on our soil.
Okay, so you're thinking it's gonna be 8,000 bigots. I'm sorry for the cussing, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut it right here. 8,000. Where'd you get the number from? Where did the 8,000 come from, bro? You're looking like Beetlejuice from Howard Stern in the face. 8,000. Where you get that from, bro? It was 59 people. And even if it was 8,000, that's a lot less than 20 million. And you know the funniest part about that is, bro, do you think these migrants care about black people in this country? Is that what you think? I just told y'all about the woman who was killed by 3 illegal aliens. The black woman, minding her business, randomly killed by these people. You got Trinidad Agua, a bunch of other gangs, criminal aliens in general, people that were murderers and whatnot over in their home country come here to do the exact same thing. Lake and Riley, the list goes on. Assault, kidnapping, burglary, robbery, all of that. All of that. Racism? You worried about that, bro? You should be worried about your actual physical safety from the unvetted illegal aliens, not the Afrikaners. Come on, bro. Like, let's just keep it all the way real, man. So, yeah, we have another rant from this lady. Let's check it out.
Yeah, this is for all you YT South Afrikaners that are being shipped in by Trump. You need to know the majority of Americans don't want you here. You just jump back on another plane and fly your little racist YT supremacist butts right on back to your country. Go back to Africa. We do not want your racist butts here. You are not welcome in the...
Go back to Africa? Look, I've not heard that. Listen, the white liberals are becoming unhinged. They're becoming unglued. Unglued. I've not heard go back to Africa since the 90s. They are becoming unglued. The mask is off. Mask off. Total racist. Hey, Shaniqua, go back to Africa. That's what I heard, right? From the first white liberal lady to this one right here. Hey, Shaniqua, go back to Africa. That's what I heard.
We do not want your racist butts here. You are not welcome in the United States, and Trump is not going to be in charge forever. Yeah, you're not welcome here. We don't want any more Snazis in America. We're done. And we're the majority. MAGA wants you to believe they're the majority, but they are not.
Hey, check it out, though. Check it out. Watch this. Hey, Miss White Lady, watch this. Who won the election in 2024? And what was the margin of victory? Huh? If you guys are the majority, why'd you lose? Huh? I'm having a hard time being able to figure it out. If y'all can fill me in, please do so, because I'm kind of lost right now. I am lost. I don't really understand how they're the majority, yet we won. And we won the swing states, all of them. We stomped y'all into wine.
Just saying. Fly your asses to another country where they want racists like you. Because you're not welcome here.
Racists? Go back to Africa, Shaniqua. You guys are the racists. And it's the funniest thing in the world. It's the funniest thing in the world to hear them talk, how they're just so racist and the things they say, and they don't even see it. They feel like they're the good ones. They're the virtuous ones. They're the good ones. And we're the bad guys. Okay, we're the bad guys. She feels like her ideas are correct. She feels like her hairstyle is beautiful. She feels like she is in the right and we're in the wrong. She feels like she is in the majority and we're in the minority. But clearly, all that's fake. All that's false. All that's wrong. So yeah, shout out to her and her hairstyle. hopefully you're going to make it, lady. You know, I know it's going to be a long 3 more years, a long-term presidency. But hey, man, you'll be all right. You'll be all right. Now, there's a church that helps with migrant resettlement and things of this nature. But they're not going to help this time because they're white.
Of course, this was a 4-decades-old relationship across many administrations that was ended abruptly today. Why did the classification of these immigrants as refugees cross a moral line?
Well, the reality is we can't be ourselves in the Episcopal Church and take the step of resettling white Afrikaners from South Africa. Our church has a long commitment to racial justice and reconciliation, and we have historic ties with the Anglican Church of South Africa. Desmond Tutu is a part of, been a partner was a partner in this work for us. So we're just not able to take this step. It's not in line with anything that we're about. And it also saddens us to see that other refugees who are being denied entrance to the United States are people, brave people who've worked alongside of our military in Iraq and Afghanistan, now face danger, have been in camps for a long time and aren't being allowed in. And so this is just, the program no longer aligns with where we are as a church and what we're about.
So there you go. So, hey, man, church guys, I need y'all to tighten up. We saw the little boy, Dennis Menace looking bulldagger, lesbian earlier, talking crazy with a collar on. And here we go with this guy doing the same thing. It's a mess. It is a total mess. It's funny how white South Africaners made the liberals hate migrants. That is the funniest thing in the world. Now, speaking about funny things, this guy, Sri Thanadar, who in the world is responsible for this guy being in office? You're actually a House rep and you go to D.C. Let's watch this.
Blatant violation of his constitutional duties. There is no doubt about it, and not a single member of Democratic Party. You can ask even some Democrats have called me lunatic, just like the president has called me lunatic. Blatant violation.
Okay, now, bro, who is this guy? Are you okay? My man, if you're in danger, blink twice. I'm going to send my goons up there in Michigan to come get you because you're looking like something is just not right with this SNL character. All right, let's keep on going here. So when he was asked to name his area's districts, he drew a blank. Let's watch this.
I don't know.
What are the 5 Grosse Points cities?
Well, look, I'm not here to answer a quiz. I'm here to say that I'm going to fight for the people of Detroit. I'm going to fight for my constituents.
And Grosse Pointe
and all of the Grosse
Taylor.
Points and all of Taylor and every part of the 13th district.
Hello, my name is Paul. How can I help you? Okay, I'm sorry. Let's keep rocking.
Just do this real quick.
Your name is not Paul. I know it's not Paul, sir. I can hear your accent. It's not Paul. It's not Charles. It's not Jimmy.
Grosse Pointe Park, Grosse Pointe Woods, Grosse Pointe Farms, and Grosse Pointe Shores. Okay. You know, on your campaign filings, it says occupation. Yours says United States government. Aren't you employed by the people of the United States?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, you fix that one. Okay, and finally, you're getting nailed with this one. The beagles. You abandoned the beagles, left them to die in their cages at your pharmaceutical
I love animals. See, look, I don't know.
So you're abusing the dogs? Like you're abusing the beagles, just left them to die in cages? Okay, see, that's much different than what Kristi Noem did. Kristi Noem had the decency to put a dog out of his misery rather than just leaving it to rot and suffer. That's not what you do to a dog. That's not a humane way to treat any living being. All right, so there we go. Sri Thanadar trying to, I guess, become some type of official in Detroit. Doesn't even know anything about the city. I think if you're going to try to become a leader of a place, you should know the place you're trying to be the leader of. Just maybe. Just maybe. Like if I want to become governor, just like my man Bill Lee, the governor of Tennessee, And if you're watching Bill Lee, you're one of the best in the whole country. Shout out to you. What Bill Lee did was go on a tour of the entire state, every place in the state, in an RV with his wife. He stopped everywhere, every big city, small town, everywhere, and talked to people, shook hands, kissed babies, everything, all over the whole state. Memphis, Nashville, Knoxville, Chattanooga, Johnson City, up there, Bristol, all over the whole state. This guy, on the other hand, Detroit, I don't know where the places are. I have no idea. Now, let's watch this. This is very important because it's about the whole thing about California. Now, we know that California is going to have a problem with trying to rebuild on these beach areas after the fires. Let's just watch this, shall we?
And the other thing that people need to understand is everything here is on septic. Nothing is on a city sewer system. Every dwelling in Malibu has a separate septic system. And these houses in front, many of them were built in the 40s, in the 50s, in the 60s, and the codes were almost non-existent. So they have septic systems that are in place now that are completely unacceptable in 2025 when they rebuild. Not that they'll rebuild in 2025, 2055, when they rebuild. And they're going to have to update the septic system, which means Coastal Commission, Ocean, Sierra Club, dig it all out. And because of the proximity of the ocean, they're going to have to build seawalls so that erosion won't take their septic system. So they're going to be several $1 million into stuff that's buried in the ground. A seawall, not above the ground, but a seawall that's in the ground so that the storm and the erosion can't get to it. New septic system. I mean, they may be $3, $4, $5 million into it before one piece of 2x4 is even put up in terms of framing the new house. Do you know how much bureaucracy, red tape, and permits worth of nightmare this is going to be? Because regardless of whatever the mayor says, whatever the governor says about expediting this stuff, a septic system is a septic system. The code is the code. The seawall's the seawall, and they're all going to have.
They're going to take all that. Listen, all those on the beach, they're going to take all that up. All of that's going to be taken up because it's just not going to be something that makes any sense to really do. Yeah, it's just not going to. They're gonna just leave it just like that. Basically, it ain't never gonna be repaired. If they do repair it, it'll be way in the future, 30 years from now, like you said, 2055. Yes, that was Adam Carolla, wasn't it? If that was not him, I can't tell. Is that not Adam Carolla? I think that's him. That's his face and his voice. It says Jeffrey Daniels, realtor, but maybe he's the guy that's recording the video. I don't know, but that appears to be Adam Carolla. So shout out to him if it is. But whoever that is telling the truth. Now, I got a few real estate videos here. This is what $7 grand can get you in Miami, Florida. All right, $7,000. What can that get you in Mayo? Check it out.
Hey guys, come check out this amazing 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom unit with me located at the Club Residency Park Grove condominium.
1 bed, 1 bath for $7 a month.
Let's take a tour. This unit is located in one of the most prestigious neighborhoods in Miami. Not to mention the condo itself is a high-end luxury condo. Let's get into the details of this kitchen, you guys. Look at the way this kitchen was customized. Like the interior designer, the developer, and the owner really came together. I
got a question. Do you guys like the refrigerator where it's just like cabinetry? I don't know if I like that too much. I like an old school fridge, a standalone device. I don't like it where it's like blended into the actual cabinetry. Give me a nice, brushed nickel looking fridge. Just give me that all day long.
Of this kitchen, you guys, look at the way this kitchen was customized. Like the interior designer, the developer, and the owner really came together and put in so much love to create the perfect unit, you guys. I instantly fell in love with this unit, and the building does offer valet parking. You have a
stacked washer and dryer,
bar, a lounge. You also have a movie theater room, a children's room, a media room. I mean, you name it, spa, yoga room, whatever. Like, you never even have to leave this building. Look at the details that the interior designer did, you guys. All you have to do is just move in. This is the perfect unit. Let's check out the outside. As you guys can see, you have the city view, but you also have the water view, the best of both worlds. Let me do that 360 of the balcony. This is like a dream come true. Like, who wouldn't want to live in Coconut Grove? You're in one of the most prestigious neighborhoods in Miami. Like, it is amazing. Check out the details of your room, you guys. This unit was made so peacefully. Like,
of your room, of your 1 bedroom, and that condo for $7 a month.
It just feels like love in here. Check out your walk-in closet with the organizers. And here is your bathroom with his and her sink. Let me know what you guys think. Follow me for more.
I mean, it's cool. It's nice little accoutrements, nice little design in there, but not for that much money. That right there, $2,000 in Atlanta all day long. Maybe $2,500 if you're going to really ball out. And if you want to live in Buckhead, maybe 3 bands. $7,000, I would never. You got to be out of your mind. You smoking all kind of crack. You think I'm gonna pay that? Now look, this right here is Brisbane, Australia. 1.23 million. 1.23 million in Brisbane, Cannon Hill, Brisbane, Australia. Now that could be Australian dollars, but it doesn't really matter. Australian dollars, US dollars, McDonald's dollars, Monopoly dollars, it don't matter. That's still too much money. 1.23 million. Check it out.
This is what 1.23 million buys you in Cannon Hill. This is
look, already from the beginning, can you at least pressure wash the driveway? Just maybe, or nah?
Hill. This is the first time this property has been on the market since it was built in the 1960s, and it is a true time capsule. This solid post-war home sits on a 572 square...
Wait. Is that bars? Not bars on the window. For $1.23 million, bars on the window?
Home sits on a 572 square meter block in a fast-growing pocket of Cannon Hill, with 3 bedrooms, original interiors, and hardwood floors that are just waiting to be revealed. Whether you're planning to restore, rent, extend, or completely rebuild, the bones are here and the location does the rest. If you're serious about property investing in 2025, then grab our guide to the 8 fastest growing locations via the link in our bio.
So, to all the Australians, anybody knows about Australia, is that like a good price? Is that a good price for carpet on the exterior in a little sunroom? The driveway not even pressure washed. Small old 1960 house. I mean, that's just out of this world. Out of this world. I mean, totally ridiculous. Now, I got another financial one, not a real estate one. But look, this is how much McDonald's fries cost. This is the new large fry at McDonald's. The receipt says it cost $6 just for an order of fries.
So I went to McDonald's and got a large French fry. You can see right there, it is $5.69, and then I had some tax, and I did the roundup for Roundup McDonald donation, so I paid $6 for a large fry. And here's my order, $7.75, and this is what they're saying a large fry is. This is that's large fry. That looks like, it almost looks like a small fry, but honestly, that maybe it's a medium fry. Like I would argue that's a medium. That's it for $6. That's a large fry now from McDonald's, I guess.
So okay, to you guys who say ABL, it's cheaper to go to McDonald's, it's cheaper to eat fast food. Are you serious? $6. Listen, a bag of rice. I was on my stream last night, and shout out to you guys who were on Instagram last night. I appreciate you. I showed the bag of rice I have. A bag of rice that cost me $2.50 has 20 servings in it, which would be enough for the serving of rice that I would have would be the near equivalent calories-wise, or not calories-wise, volume-wise as those fries. So let's do a little bit of quick math. If the bag of rice costs $2.50 and it has 20 servings, how much is one serving? What, like 10 cents, 15 cents? Can I do a little bit of quick math? I think it's 15, maybe $12.50 or something like this. Okay, $2.50 divided by 20, $12.50. Like I said, 12 cents. 12.5 cents. 12 cents for a serving of rice compared to $6 for a bag of fries. Which is cheaper? You tell me. I'm trying to figure it out. I'm trying to understand. I don't want to hear y'all ever say on ABL Live ever again that it's cheaper to eat fast food. If you say that, you're just not telling the truth or you don't know how to shop. That's all. That's all that it is. 3 avocados. That's right, Boomhauer. Hold on. Boomhauer said 3 avocados for $5 at Publix. And I had the best one in my life today for lunch. Hey, man. Hey, I'm right there with you, bro. I'm right there with you. Hey, straight to Publix, right over the way. Listen, I get my salmon. It's like, what, $12 a pound? And I get 3 fillets, enough for 3 meals for $20. Right around $20. So, a little bit of math again. What's 20 divided by 3? We talking about like, what, 7, 6 and some change? Maybe like $6.75, something like that. Yeah, about $6.75. You might as well say $7. So, the avocado cost 3 for $5. We could say avocado, we could say it's like $1.25 plus the salmon, $7, the avocado, and then the serving of rice. You're talking about like less than $9, but a large fry costs you $6. And you're going to be a lot more healthy. It's going to be more filling, and you'll be more satisfied. And you're not going to be a bit back out here in these streets, not able to get on the airplane and things like this. It is not cheaper to eat fast food. And if you say that, I have to correct you and tell you how to shop. Okay. Carrie says, my son won't eat rice, hates it. Hey, well, look, I don't know how old your boy is, if he has an allergy or whatever, but back in my day, unless you were allergic, it wasn't no, I'm not going to eat that. Because if that's the case, well, you're not going to eat. How about that? You're not going to eat unless you're like actually allergic, like EpiPen, violent reaction allergic. You're going to eat the rice. Whatever I put on this plate, you're going to eat it. Carrie Cree says, I ate sushi nearly every day I was pregnant and my son hates rice. Makes no sense. Yeah, that's crazy. That's totally crazy. But nah, if it's me, and I had a son, and he's like, I don't want to eat that. I'd be like, hey, man, well, look, check it out. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Sheree says, 2 options, eat this or starve. Exactly. There you go. Eat this or starve. 13 and to go without eating. Well, hey, at least he's not going to be a bit back. He won't. He'll be all right. He ain't going to starve to death. And you know, the funny part is, once you get older, your taste buds are going to change. When I was a little boy, I was like any other little boy. Okay, Anthony, what you want to eat? Pizza, hamburgers, hot dogs. Yeah, when I'm a little boy, but when you become older and you have more experiences and you know, just are not a little boy anymore, you're going to have an expanded palate. Okay, you're going to start eating sushi and other things you might not have ate before. Yeah. But a lot of people are adults and they still got that childish taste buds. ABL, I don't like coconut water because it don't taste good. It tastes bland. It tastes like TV static. It's like, bro, we're not trying to have some type of fruity drink like a lemon drop. We're not trying to do that. We're trying to give you something that will help you with your physical body. Okay? That's all we're trying to do. But anyway, if you like what you're hearing so far, I know what to do. And before we get to the calls, let's get super chats right here. And thank you to Michael Critchlow, who says Trump made China say uncle on tariffs. Hilarious. Tim the Beard says the Pope trash. The Trump administration. The new Pope or the old Pope? Okay, the new guy or the guy that just kicked the bucket? RIP to him, though. Thank you to the man of faith who says the least I can do. Much love for all that wants to be loved. Right on to your boss. Thank you to Johnny Girl 609 who says take off the white woman wig when talking about black power. I'm just saying. Thank you to Neo Jade who says love your show. Great to see you and a great example like you. For my newborn son, can I get a shout out for Artemis? He was born 6 hours ago. Well, hey, congratulations. Congratulations. All right. Shout out to you, Neo J, and shout out to your boy, Artemis. Shout out to him. All righty. Hey, I like that. Hey, that's probably your first right there where I get to give a shout out to a brand new bambino, brand new born baby. Shout out to all the babies out there. Thank you to Lothair, who says, if AOC was president, she would use our taxpayer money to open up smoothies stores and Five Belows. That'd be a nightmare. It's a 12-year-old teenage girl in power. Exactly. Thank you to Blessed, who says she's white and red like the candy cane people. I suppose so. Got them rosy cheeks looking like Dennis the Menace, looking like what's her name? What's the name in them comics back in the day? Archie. Looking like Archie. Hold on. Yeah, you're looking kind of like Archie in the face. Matter of fact, oh my goodness, that's perfect. Yeah, the woman from earlier, that's her right there, Archie. I knew she looked familiar. I couldn't put my finger on it. I was like, young white kid, young white boy. I'm thinking Dennis the Menace or something. The Archie comics. I used to love Archie, Veronica, all of that when I was real young. She looked just like that in the face. So shout out to her. That's the preacher lady from earlier. Hold on, I'm gonna show you this lady again. Hold on, they them. Well, I don't know. I ain't gonna be able to find it, but now I gotta find it. Never mind. I'll get to it later. But y'all know what I'm talking about. Archie and Jughead. Yeah, shout out to Jughead all day long. All right, let's keep rocking. Thank you to Lothair, who says, if you want to join the military with gender dysphoria in the medicine with mood swings, not a good idea. That's for your safety and ours as well. Exactly. Thank you to Trump Rocks for becoming an ABL supporter. Boom, how are you crazy, man? He did though. Jughead was out there doing his thing with that coat or whatever he had on. Like a leather jacket or something like this. I forgot what he had on. Yeah, he had, I don't know, but anyway, we ain't gonna, yeah, the coat, I remember this coat. Yeah. That I remember those. I remember the outfits he used to have on. Anyway, let's keep on rocking. Shout out to Harmon Armin for the flying super emoji. Thank you to It's Lanita, who says Sri Thanadar is my rep. He came on my porch looking for votes, and I pulled up his voting records. Deer in the headlights. I have to find the Ring doorbell footage. Oh, please, listen. It's Lanita. Please post the doorbell footage if you find it on your YouTube page. Please do that. I would love to see it, and so would we. We, the people, want to see your Ring doorbell footage of this guy looking like deer in headlights, not knowing what's going on. That'd be fantastic. Absolutely. All righty. Let's keep rocking and rolling. Let's get to the calls. The number to call is 706-406-3287. Again, 706-406-3287. The number is always in the ticker. It'll come by eventually, and it's also in the description box. But let's go ahead and get rocking and rolling with the calls. Again, 706-406-3287. Let's turn the Do Not Disturb off, and let's get the party going. She looked just like Archie in the face. That was crazy. I was like, what's going on here? 331, you're the line. Who am I speaking to?
Give me 1 second, ABL. It's Les. How are you?
I'm doing well. About yourself?
Good. So I think I should be like your marketing manager, maybe. So, everybody who hasn't joined, follow ABL on IG because he's now doing live Tuesdays. And if you don't got you an account, make one. It's completely free.
There we go. That was perfect pitch. I love it.
I just wanted to go ahead and make a comment on the meltdown from the left with the South Africans.
Mm-hmm.
You know what's so funny? It's like how you were saying that they are very tolerable, and they want to portray this image to everybody. That they are, they're accepting, they're loving, they're open-minded, but only when it fits their own narrative and their own propaganda that they have going on. And all this that we aren't seeing that's being uncovered, it's truly, I mean, we on the right have been knowing this, but it's actually really truly showing us, the whole world, right? If it's being broadcasted and the whole world is on the news, that they only really do care about the color of your skin.
Exactly. That's their main thing.
That's all it is. Like 59 South Africans refugees are going to be coming here. And the only thing that what was she saying? The rep on MSNBC, she was like, oh, well, Trump never really hid his racism very well. And it's like, well, ma'am, you aren't either, because you're sitting there and saying that this is a big problem, and all these other people that are marching behind the left, it's all the same propaganda narrative line that, oh, we don't want bigots here, and we don't want this, and we don't. How do they even know if they're bigots or not, ABL?
They have no idea.
Exactly. Maybe they should look at themselves in the mirror. I think that's the best advice that we can give them, and it's sad, but it's the reality of the left. And it's so funny how that one lady that you were showing the TikTok, how she's like, MAGA wants you to think that they're the majority, but they're not. They're the minority. It's like, ma'am, excuse me, ma'am. Did you really not see? Are you not on like planet Earth where President Trump won? He is the current president, and he won by a landslide, over 86 point something. I believe it was like 86.46% Americans voted him in. He won, what was it, the Electoral College and then the popular vote. Like, what does that tell you? These people are deranged. That's all I could say. What do they say? The Trump derangement syndrome. There you go. Yeah. Well, I just wanted to go ahead and just say that I want to wish you a wonderful night, ABL. It's always a pleasure, and we want to wish the chat a wonderful night. God bless, and the little patriots want to say good night.
Good night.
Thank you for the call. Appreciate y'all.
Take care, ABL. Bye.
All right. Great call as always. Shout out to the young game. Shout out to Les for the call. Okay. Now, I wanted to just show Archie and Jughead because that was on my mind. Hold on. I'm going to go back right quick to the they, them. Now, remember this video right here from earlier? Okay. Is it going to play? Or it's going to block my blessings because they were just hearing me talk about it. Hold on.
I want to talk about performative allyship and why it's a problem. So,
all right, I'm going to just turn that sound down, but you can see the person right here. You can see the hairstyle, all this kind of stuff, right? You can see what's going on. Okay, this is a woman that is cosplaying as a priest. Okay, but look, check it out. Look at the resemblance to Jughead. So, who does she remind you of? Is it Jughead on the left or Archie on the right? Okay, Archie obviously the redhead, Jughead right there on the left with the crown. Who's more like? I mean, I think she's more like Jughead. Yeah, with the hair and the nose and the rosy cheeks. That's Jughead all day long. Maybe like a combination of both, Jughead and Archie. Anyway, let's keep on rocking and rolling. The number to call 706-406-3287. 708. You're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL. This is your liberal listener that you've been asking for a few weeks ago.
All right.
I'm here to debate and discuss, yes. But I love your show, and I love what you say. So, but I just don't understand, like, why you put the most extreme people on there. Like, most of us aren't like that. You got some crazy people that you're showing, but that's not most of us.
Okay, so do you think that anything they say you disagree with?
Yes, I don't necessarily think, like, what they're saying is exactly correct. I mean, it's kind of like, and then they sound like crazy, you know. But that's what you're showing because it's the show. But I'm a history teacher from Illinois, so I like to discuss and talk about stuff. But I do love your show, and you say a lot of good things. But some stuff I don't agree with you on. But a few weeks ago, you asked for a liberal listener to come and discuss stuff, so here I am. I called you up.
Okay, so what do you not agree with? What's one of your main things you think I'm wrong on?
I don't necessarily think everything that you say about transgender stuff is correct, and you call them transformers. I don't know if I necessarily like that all the way. I mean, I see why you're saying it. I'm kind of like more of a balanced approach person, but I mean, some of that stuff kind of, and then you kind of insult some people. I don't like that necessarily.
So,
but
like,
I like all your food. What's up? Go ahead. Sorry.
So be specific though. Like, what did I say about them, the transgenders that you didn't like?
Well, okay. I coach high school sports, and I see what you're saying about like people, transgender people, but sometimes there's like certain specific cases where it was good for the student to play. And I've experienced that before. I have. But I see the other side of things too, where it's kind of like, well, maybe, you know, it's not a good idea. I can open up a can of worms. But I've also been on the situation where it was best for the student to play on a girls' team. I've had that situation happen before, and nobody cared.
But do you think that it makes sense to just allow them to play? Because it's not going to be case by case. It's just going to be, okay, you can play. Because how do you determine who should play or who shouldn't play? Just have it, let them all play or let none play?
Yeah, it is kind of tough. I can say this, so from our experience, the person that had to do this jumped through a lot of hoops to do it. They had never played on a boys' team before. I mean, there's a lot of things that they had to go through step by step in order to do this. So it's not like you just like, hey, I want to be on a girls' team. Here I am. It took about 5 months to do it. I'm in Illinois. There's just another side of things. I understand the other side of things. You don't want to have people and guys in sports and crushing things and everything else, but I think there's always a side to everything else.
I think ultimately what's going to happen is, and what's happening, like I showed you the clip earlier. You see that 6 foot tall boy playing softball? Did you see that?
Yeah, I did see you put that on there. Yes.
So, I mean, how you feel about that? You think that's fair?
I don't see. I'm kind of like, I'm an athlete too and a coach. I'm hardcore on sports. My concern is, I think sometimes we talk and it like says that girls are weaker. We're constantly saying girls are weaker.
They are.
Weaker and weaker.
They are.
And but that's not necessarily a good message either, because a lot of girls can compete with a lot of guys.
Well,
in some situations.
The reality
so,
is, the reality is that women are a weaker vessel. That's just the truth. It's not a bad thing to say. I don't mean any harm when I say it. It's just the reality, and that's why I say they should be protected. They shouldn't have us compete against them because it's not fair to the women. I'm trying to look out for you guys. But going back to my question earlier, do you think that 6 foot tall boy was fair pitching against girls in softball?
Well, I think it depends on the situation and who's competing, because some girls probably can't hang with that person. When you were playing the clip, I tried to look it up because I always like look things up. I hang out with the guy I hang out with, and he drives for Uber, and we listen to your show. So that's what we do, like on Wednesdays and Saturdays. So I tried to look up the stuff, so I don't have enough information, I think, to be like, hey, this is what I exactly think about it, because I couldn't pull up some stuff in time. I don't like to say stuff unless I know exactly what I'm talking about.
Okay, I understand.
So I don't necessarily disagree with you completely. My concern is, and as a person that coach girls hear stuff constantly that they're like too weak and all that stuff. It's like, if you say stuff, you got to be like a little bit more careful about how I understand physically, you know, people think or whatever else, but sometimes it's not the case. I mean, not in every single case. Like Serena Williams could beat 99% of guys on the earth, on the planet.
Well, actually, it was a clip of Serena Williams from some years ago when she was on Letterman, and she was talking about how if she was to compete up against a male tennis player, she would get crushed. She said it out of her own mouth. She said that the game is different. They serve different. They hit different. It's different. Now,
right.
She's a great female tennis player, and she looks big and muscular, but she's a woman at the end of the day. And right. she as a professional even said it out of her own mouth on TV.
Yeah, and I understand what you're saying, but a lot of the guys I've talked to guys too. Oh, I could beat Serena Williams. No, you couldn't. Okay, she still is going to beat 99% of people on this earth. I think it's just to be careful about like how we like convey messages and everything. I see what you're saying. I don't disagree, but I think you have to be careful, like saying, you know, that women are so much weaker and everything else, because we're beasts too, especially with endurance. But yeah, I just wanted to call and say like, hey, I listen to you. I'm a liberal person. I don't like classifying people and insulting people. Say, oh, the leftists or the right people, because that's part of what's going on in America and what's wrong. Like we have like labels for each other and we're constantly saying stuff. But I listen to your show all the time. I don't agree with everything you say, but I love that you talk about food. I love that you talk about the opium epidemic, because a lot of people don't talk about that stuff. And I'm big on health and food, and it seems like you are too. So I love it.
Right on. Well, thank you for your call. I definitely appreciate you.
Yeah, no problem. I just know that there's not all just conservative people out there too listening. I'm listening too, and I like to have a balanced approach, and I'm able to take a lot of what you say in and incorporate it into the classroom when I talk about it with students the next day. So some of us are out there listening.
I appreciate you for that. Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
All right, shout out to you. Thanks.
All righty. All right, shout out to the call. Okay, now I did find that Serena Williams clip. I did find that because I wanted to show you guys that.
Andy.
Okay, let's play this right quick, and then we'll get to the next call.
Murray, he was been joking about myself and him playing a match, and I'm like, Andy, seriously, like, are you kidding me? Because for me, tennis and men's tennis and women's tennis are completely almost two separate sports. So I'm like, if I were to play Andy Murray, I would lose 6-0, 6-0 in 5 to 6 minutes, maybe 10 minutes, because no, it's true. It's true. It's a completely. It's a completely different sport. The men are a lot faster, and they serve harder, they hit harder. It's just a different game, and I love to play women's tennis, and I only want to play girls because I don't want to be embarrassed. I would not do the tour. I wouldn't do Billie Jean any justice. So Andy, stop it.
Yeah. So I mean, what more can I say? There we go. I mean, that pretty much solves that. So yeah, shout out to her. I didn't say it, she said it. I didn't, it's not me. All right, let's go to 904. Get online. Who am I speaking to?
Hey Bill, how you doing? This is Nikki from Florida.
I'm doing well, man. How about yourself?
I'm doing well. First of all, I just want to compliment you on your age, your health, your fitness. I like that you don't drink. I like that you try to stay healthy. I think you're a great role model for other young people. And as a matter of fact, I'm about 78 days sober now, and I'm feeling better than ever. So I think that, you made the right choice, staying away from alcohol. So, the one thing I wanted to say was about the statue. And I think it's so funny because when you were talking about it, they said it was 12 foot tall. And I was thinking, okay, what dinosaur is about 12 foot tall? A T-Rex is on average about 12 foot tall. I would have rather seen the T-Rex. Like, their statue is, like, the thing about the left is they're always so serious. They're always so preachy. They're always so corny, so cringe. And the statue was ugly. I would have rather seen a woke rainbow T-Rex. Like, if the left was actually funny, like, I would have been with it. Like, I'd be hilarious to see a rainbow-colored T-Rex. I would have rather seen that. So I'm just saying, like, that statue's ridiculous, man. And it is ugly.
Yeah, it really was. And it's a mess. And I'm glad that it won't be here forever. It's temporary. They're going to take it down, I think, next month. It can't come too soon because that whole thing is just really a mess.
Yeah, but do you agree that the left, they need to have a little bit more of a sense of humor too? Don't it always seem like the left is much more serious, much more dramatic?
I think that they're not, I don't know. It's kind of hard to explain. They're kind of like robots. Like I was playing, what's that guy? Hakeem Jeffries earlier. They're kind of like robots, and they're always getting offended at everything because life has been so easy for them. They got to find problems. When if they just enjoyed life a little bit more, they would not be so uptight.
Yeah, and you know what? I like that lady who just called a minute ago, the liberal lady. I mean, you don't hear from people who claim to be liberal very often, and I think she was pretty reasonable, and I'm glad she called in. So, and maybe we'll hear from what's his face tonight, the Spanish guy. Anyways, you have a good night, ABL.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right.
All right. Shout out to the caller. The number to call is 434, not 434. I almost said the wrong thing. 706-406-3287. 859. Get online. Who am I speaking to?
Yo, ABL, how's it going?
It's all good, man. What's going on?
Not much. Hey, It's me, the Luciferian Libertarian here, just taking order right now, driving, just relaxing with me and my wife, smoking, chilling out, just living life, just watching your show, listening to it. And I made the comment about the gender dysphoria, and that's the funny thing is that it's on the, a lot of like doctors, a lot of psychiatrists say it is a dysphoria, which is a mental illness. And I'm not saying these people are bad or good or whatever, but with the medicine, I have known people who are transitioning. The medicine gives them not really good mood swings, like massive mood swings, and they don't like it. So that would be not the best idea to have these kind of people in the military for our safety and their safety. I mean, you're talking about somebody who's on mood swings holding the machine gun. That's not really the wisest decision. And me personally, I try to get in in the military because my family was in the military. It was something I wanted to do, but I do have problems, and they told me, they said, no, you can't join the military. But I think it's kind of strange they are willing to put somebody who has a dysphoria in the military. I can't comprehend their logic on that. The liberal politicians who are trying to push this trans agenda, which, I mean, we should be accepting of anybody, personally. But if there's certain situations like, mood swings or a dysphoria, that would not be very fantastic for the military. That would be catastrophic to a team leader or the military in general.
Right on.
And people will go around saying, all these liberals saying, oh, it's transphobia, it's an issue, it's an issue against a disability. It's like, no, that disability will cause a problem in the military or any kind of mission or with anything serious like that, especially with high risk and high stakes and very high stress. I don't think somebody with mood swings can handle something with high stress. Would you agree?
I agree with you for sure.
This is a logical way of me pointing it out, and I think it's silly that some of these people say, oh, you're just transphobic, completely ignoring the other mental health issues that other people have to deal with all through life. They don't have the mood swings like that or the issues but they're denied going to the military because of their issues. And I think it's silly and basically discriminatorial against people with other problems. Because, you're allowing these people to come in, who is probably dysfunctional or more dysfunctional compared to us, that, something with ADHD, bipolar or other, or dyslexic, and then you're just giving favoritism towards somebody else who has that condition. And that's the way I see about it.
Right on.
And even personally, I can see why they don't want to put me in the Army. They don't want to put me in the military because of certain issues that I might have, and I can understand that. But I just don't get why some of the liberals are getting mad that we're pointing out this is a dysphoria. We're not discriminating against them. It's a problem. Back in the 90s when they was don't ask, don't tell, then I can sit there and say, okay, that could be a problem back in the day that we have changed, And I can see that the implications of that could be a bad situation and discriminating against somebody's sexuality. And sexuality has nothing to do about the mental health. But when it's a euphoria, when it's called gender dysphoria, when you have that issue, that is a mental health issue that would get worse under PTSD and stress. And that is something that they need to consider, and it's silly. So, my question: what's your thoughts on it, on that subject, at the most part?
You got to ask me a question because you said a lot of things right there. So I'm not sure what you want me to talk about.
Well, my question is that would that be the main reason why, or would it be another reason why? I mean, you talked about the point of the taxes and stuff like that, all the military budget to pay for the surgery and stuff like that. I think that's even silly too.
So hold on. So is a question about why they're joining? Are they just trying to get a free surgery?
Yeah, I don't think it's just a free surgery. I think part of it is that I think some of them are doing that for that reason, but also I think they're silly for even joining it if they have that condition.
Well, they try to get the free surgery, so it don't matter about them trying to be war ready. They're just trying to get the surgery. They're just trying to get the care. That's all. They're just trying to. It's like a hustle. They're just trying to get money at the end of the day.
Yeah.
That's my opinion.
I agree with you on that, but also I think there's other factors. Like, I can sit there and tell them, like, I don't think you should be in for that reason, because if you have a euphoria, that's not a good idea. To join armed forces, that would be a horrible idea. And would you kind of agree with that? That would be a very disastrous, bad way of running the unit.
Yeah, they shouldn't be in the military at the end of the day, because you're going to be mentally, if you think you get gender dysphoria, you're not mentally right. And if you get the surgery, you're not going to be battle ready anyway, even if you were mentally right. So all the way around is going to be a bad idea.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. Hey, thank you very much for taking my phone call. I really appreciate it, ABL. Much love to you, and I'm it's fantastic content, man. I'll talk to you later, man.
Thanks for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
No problem. Luciferian Libertarian out.
All right, shout out to my man. Let's go to 423. Don't learn who I'm speaking to. 423, hello.
Hello, is this ABL?
Yes, it is. Who am I speaking to?
Your stream is all the way back too. I'm looking at your stream.
Yeah,
It's
don't
way
watch that,
back.
please. Turn it down for me.
Okay, turn it. Oh, Mr. Ultra Maggot from Chattanooga.
All righty, what's going on?
Oh, not much. I just have I have a couple questions. Like, when are these states that are conservative gonna stop? Like, literally, like, I guarantee you, the federal government's funding these stuff like strip clubs and stuff. When are they gonna stop like funding these things?
You said we're funding strip clubs?
Yeah, like strip clubs and adult entertainment and stuff. I mean, there's got to be a certain point where we just ban these things. I don't know if it's like the counties that are funding it or who's funding these things.
I think the patrons. I think the patrons are funding the strip club.
I don't. I've always questioned it. Like maybe, like for example, like maybe the counties are funding it, the cities.
Why would they? But why would they do that?
No, I don't know. I don't know who's funding it. Maybe you're right. Maybe just a crowd of people walking in there are funding it. I don't know.
Yeah, just like anywhere else, it's like, okay, you got a McDonald's, you have a grocery store, you got a Taekwondo studio, you got an eyeglasses place, and you got a strip club. They're funded by the patrons. Okay, so you got a private, you got a private business, and they got some money, and they built a thing, or they rented it out. You come in there, not you, but somebody comes in there. They spend their monies. The money goes to the actual establishment, and they stay in business that way.
It's like I'm from New York, like upstate New York, and then I moved down to, I don't know, North Carolina. I was on the ocean down there, and it's just like there's either clubs or there's illegal like Chinese massages.
Well, look, I mean, if you go to a beach place, a tourist place, it's like that because of the tourists. The tourists go to those places. It was like that in Virginia too. So in Virginia, you got the Chinese massage parlors, you got strip clubs, nightclubs, because the tourists, they want to come and enjoy themselves. So they're going to be the ones that go to that kind of stuff primarily.
Oh, exactly. He's just full of it. So, yeah, I get it. So what do you think the next thing is on the ban for RFK now? Do you think they're going to ban like high fructose corn syrup, glyphosate?
That's a good question. I don't really know what's next. But I think the main thing would be to get some of the obviously harmful carcinogens up out of our diet. Once we get those, then I think you could target high fructose corn syrup, but that's going to be a very hard one because that's in everything. That's in so many.
Right.
Yeah, that's
been renamed a couple times too.
You said what now?
It's been renamed a couple times too.
Yeah, I think that'll be the next thing they try to get, but I'm not sure they'll be able to do it because that's a lot. That's going to be a big.
One of the things they're not talking about, and they should be talking about, is natural flavors. Like natural flavors, I guess, can have over 100 things in that one word.
Yeah, that's another one.
Yeah, all this stuff. I just wonder, like for food dyes, example, they're banned, I guess now. And they say, I think you say like, I might be wrong, but I think like in the next 6 months they're gonna phase out within the next 6 months. Why not? So I haven't seen a change.
Well, of course, it's not going to be like overnight. Like, okay, they say we're going to change a thing. We're going to ban some of the food dyes. They can't just all of a sudden the next day on the food shelves have those products be right there. It take a little while to do.
Right. So the next subject I got is, do you think Montana has zero sales tax and stuff like that? Do Do you think Tennessee will ever go zero sales tax?
No, because we have no state income tax. So we got to make money sometime.
Sure.
Yeah.
Prices just seem to be like higher here in some things. Not everything. I mean, but like you eat out or something like that, it just seems like they're higher. But maybe I'm like you get that sales tax in there. It's like an extra like what, $3 or something like that.
Is that a lot when you're talking about eating out somewhere?
No, I've been to Montana, so it's like I don't know. I don't know what kind of taxes they have. It just seems like it's cheaper. I don't know.
It's probably cheaper in Montana overall, more than most states in the union, I would suppose, right?
Yeah. So what do you think about that? The mayor race in Chattanooga. What's that? Tim Keller winning again instead of Chris Long.
I've not really been watching it.
I was mad that Chris Long didn't get. That's the problem with these cities, even in the conservative states. Like we keep getting these liberals back in, like the cities. Like we vote the state in the Senate. Okay, that's a big one, but when are we gonna start changing these cities? Is the question.
Yeah, and I think the mayor of Chattanooga. That's because we got two mayors. We got the city mayor and the county mayor. The county mayor is more important, in my humble opinion.
Right. And the other one, Tim Kelly. I met him one time, and he was just like, it's like, okay, I saw you out there one time, and I'm like, okay, you seem like you're trash. It's like, what?
I'm with you, man. I'm going to cut you off, but I got a few more calls on the line. Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Yeah. Yep.
All righty. Shout out to the caller. Let's keep on rocking and rolling. 208, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
This is Tom, ABL. How are you, old friend?
I'm doing well, man. How about yourself?
Doing well, brother. Hey, excellent show again tonight. Just wanted to tell you, the part about Biden, everybody's on this bandwagon, Biden was decrepit and all this. Well, everybody knew that. But I tell you, ABL, that really is super scary if you think about it. And I don't think enough focus is being put on this auto pen and exactly who was running the United States of America, because it's blatantly obvious now that Biden had no idea what was being signed and what wasn't. And it's scary. I think more attention needs to be paid to that.
Yeah, I agree with you because they have no idea. People have no idea who ran the country because it wasn't Joe Biden. So clearly it had to have been some kind of third party. Just, the staffers, whoever were around, they were the ones running it. It wasn't Joe Biden at all. And you're right about that. There needs to be more attention paid to that fact.
Well, as soon as Mike Johnson, third in line to the presidency of the United States of America, would come out publicly and told that the president didn't even have any idea that he had signed something that crippled our nation, good God, we could have been at war and Biden wouldn't have known it. So, yeah, I hope you do more on that. And like I said, great show. And as far as that thing and the caller you were talking about earlier, I agree with you. That's just nuts. I hope we see less of that as this term goes forward.
Right on. Absolutely.
All right, my brother, you have a great night, great show. And, tell Chevrolet hello. Great job.
Right on. Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
You bet. Bye-bye.
All right. Shout out to the caller. Great call. Let's keep on rocking and rolling. Let's go to 505 online. Who am I speaking to?
Oh, Thomas Butler.
All righty, man. What's going on?
I want to talk to ABL.
You're speaking to me right now, boss.
Whoa. Okay. Yeah, just me and my family, we're the Butler family, and been listening to you for, probably about almost 10 years, somewhere around there.
Wow. Thank you,
man. Wow. Yeah, so I just want to give you a shout out and all that.
Well, man, I really appreciate the support. Long time. You've been a lifer, man, so I can't thank you enough.
Right. Are you almost done with the show now?
Yeah, I'm closing out in a few minutes here.
Okay. Well, maybe next time I can get a call in and. Or
well, we got time now, man. Ain't no rush. So whatever you got to say, man, it's all good. We got time.
All right. Well, I thank you so much, sir.
Well, thank you, man. Appreciate your call. Thank you for the call.
All right. Thank you.
All righty. All right. Shout out to the caller. I was trying to say you could keep on, but maybe he was just, you know what I mean? But yeah, shout out to the caller. 10 years. Wow. Great, man. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, man, without you, there is no me. So thank you for that, man. I appreciate you. And the number to call is 706-406-3287. Shout out to you guys, man. Long-time listeners, long-time callers. You guys are the best. 215, on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL, how's it going?
It's all good, man. What's going on?
Hey, I like the way you covered that video of that girl Lily on Pierce Morgan, and you covered that really well. And you were saying, sorry, I had to clear my throat. You were saying the exact same thing I was thinking, that she's just trying to be a new influencer. She's trying to say the most outrageous things to try to be the new influencer, Candace Owens type.
Of course, man. Like it's pretty clear what's going on. Like I don't get offended. I just kind of see things for what it is. You're just trying to say outlandish things, trying to become popular, trying to come up. Because first she was doing trad wife stuff, and then all of a sudden now she's like super racist or whatever. So it's like, all right, whatever works. Trad wife, that didn't work. Say the N-word, that works. Okay, now I'm on Piers Morgan. Congratulations. How long will that last? We'll see.
Yeah, pretty much like a new grift. Like she said, she's just trying to be the new influencer. All of a sudden now she's trying to gain followers. Now all of a sudden I'm defending my white people. I don't remember you saying all that stuff before when I first met you.
Right on.
Yeah. And also I like what you said about the whole Candace, about what was it? You said you made a video on Candace Owens and like her with the Jewish people. I forgot what video was it? Was she on?
Oh, I know what you're talking about, but I can't remember the exact thing. But I do remember that because it you know the whole thing about the Jews came out. I'm like, okay, there go the problem right there. You got a problem with the Jews, which is so silly. Like I said before, the Jews are the white man's white man. If you want to be real woke and you're not white, you could just say, well, I don't blame the white man no more. I blame Edelstein and people like this. I'm like, it's so silly. It's all about blaming the white man. I think it's just kind of silly. People just don't want to take any kind of personal accountability for their lives. They want to blame somebody else and point the finger.
Yes, I've been saying the exact same thing because when I watched your video, I've been thinking the same thing, especially with this Israel-Palestine conflict. Basically, it's like I've noticed that, and I've been saying the same thing, even though I don't have a big platform like you. The Jews are the new white man. You said exactly what I was thinking.
Yep.
Because it's like, because I noticed I've been hearing all these narratives, they want to blame all the world's problems on the Jews. Now all of a sudden the Jews were responsible. It had something to do with 9/11. I'm just like, what? That's when I started to believe. Okay, so now the Jews are the world's problem now. So the world doesn't want to take accountability, look itself in the mirror. Society doesn't want to look itself in the mirror, so we want to blame. First, we wanted to blame all white people. Now we don't want to blame Jewish people. And one guy tried to say to me, well, Jewish people are technically white. I said, first of all, Jewish people were discriminated against during segregation, if I'm not mistaken. Because back during segregation, we had the Jim Crow era. Not only blacks were not allowed to live in white neighborhoods, but Asians weren't allowed, or Jewish people definitely weren't allowed to live in white neighborhoods.
Well, let's be clear though. The Jews, the people blame, are white. They're Europeans, like Benjamin Netanyahu from Poland. It's like, come on. But also back in the day, there was discrimination against Irish, the Italians. They weren't considered white for real. You would see a sign that says no blacks, no Mexicans, no Irish. They were considered the same thing as, like, if you weren't a white Anglo-Saxon Protestant, then you were pretty much just, they didn't want to deal with you at a certain point. In certain parts of the country, that's just what it was. And then it became more expansive to say, okay, you could be white if you're Irish and Italian and everybody else. That's kind of how it worked. And the Jews were in that same kind of category.
Yeah, that makes sense. And the last thing I wanted to touch on is like that's when I started. I just see, even though I don't do that much reading and research, but I always do a lot of critical thinking. I don't believe everything I hear. I try not to. And I like what you say, ABL. You said don't you don't have to take my word for it. And like with a lot of the conservatives, and I'm gonna just say this whole with this baby, what's her name? Shyla Hendricks.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't like how everything is becoming racialized all of a sudden. Like they're trying to compare this to Carmelo Anthony, and I'm just like, oh my god, most of this shit is just so mind numbing. I don't even want to listen to it because it's like it's 2025, and like Morgan Freeman said, the only way to stop racism is just to stop talking about it, and then it'll just die off. But as you know, there's people who have a vested interest into not letting racism die.
Exactly. That's right.
Well, thanks for taking my call, ABL. Sorry I took so long.
No problem, man. Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
You have a good night.
Same to you. All right. Shout out to the caller. Great call. And shout out to you guys for being here. I could not do the show without you, but that will be a wrap for me. I'll be back live again on Saturday. I ain't gonna leave no time. I'll be here Saturday. This Saturday past, I was in West Virginia, of course, with my family for Mother's Day. Shout out to all my cousins and everybody out there. Shout out to my sister. Shout out to my cousin / nephew. Shout out to everybody out there, and shout out to you guys for rocking and rolling with me. 10 years or 1 year or 1 day, it is all good. And again, I'll be back on Saturday, but I'm here all throughout the week putting out pre-recorded content. Please follow the new channel, Uncle ABL. I am posting on there. I got a lot of content. I got a lot of news stories I'm covering over there, a lot of social stuff. Puff Daddy, Cassie. I'm talking about The Little Mermaid, Holly Bailey, and DDG, the streamer boyfriend beating her up. I'm talking about that kind of things over there. I'm talking about certain little TikTok type clips over there. So that's going to be the place where you could catch me at, over on Uncle ABL, talking about social things. Also, please follow the Rumble for my regular content. The same content over here on my regular channel, you can find it on Rumble if you want to watch it there. And let me see if I can pull it up for you right quick. Yeah, but follow me on Rumble if you guys haven't. Y'all been asking me, hey, baby, when you gonna get on Rumble? But I am on Rumble. You see all the videos right here. All right, we all right there. We got 1,440 or so followers. You can see that I'm verified. I'm easy to find. Follow me, Anthony Brian Logan, on the Rumbles. Also, please follow me on your favorite audio streaming platforms, because you listen to an audio streaming platform. You listen to an audio streaming podcast right now. Go to your favorite podcast, whether it be Apple iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, etc. Link for that will be in the description, or just go to your favorite audio streaming platform and search ABL Live. I should pop right on up. This episode you're listening to right now will be available 8 a.m. Eastern Time tomorrow. So today's Wednesday. It'll be available 8 a.m. Thursday morning. And the Saturday show, it'll be available 8 a.m. Sunday morning. Alrighty. So that's pretty much it. And I got super chats on deck. I'll read those right quick. Then I wrap it on up, put the bow on top. But shout out to you guys for watching, retweeting, super chatting, whatever you're doing. I could not do the show without you. Thank you to the mods for keeping the trolls in check. I appreciate y'all for that as well. Alrighty, super chats. Thank you to Slenderella Charming, who says, want Republicans to like you? Tell them the truth. Want Democrats to hate you? Tell them the truth. They don't like reality is a problem. Insanity is not living in reality. Come on, lefties, wake up. Smiley face. Right on. Very well said, Slenderella Charming. Thank you for that. Thank you to Dude Raw for Show, who says, non-family men you would like to have. Okay. So the question is, what men who are not family members would you like to have mentor you? That's a very good question. Larry Elder, off the rip. And whenever I see Larry Elder, he's always like a reassuring figure. He tries to include me in certain things. Like, I like Larry Elder a lot. So out of like non-family, it'd be Larry Elder for sure. For sure. No question about it. And beyond that, I'm not really sure. Rush Limbaugh, I would have loved to have met Rush Limbaugh. R.I.P. to Rush. I love Rush so much, man. That was my entry into conservatism, really, was listening to Rush, because I kept getting told throughout my life, don't listen to Rush Limbaugh. He's a racist, all this, that, and the third. But when I heard Rush, I'm like, where is the racism at? Is the racism in the room with us? Because I don't see it. If he's racist, I can't tell. So definitely Rush, Larry, guys like this, radio guys, conservative minds with a lot of experience. And there's more, of course. I don't want to get naming everybody's name, but those two right there, that's my top two. And there's no order. Larry, Rush, they pretty much even with me. Even, right on. So yeah, that's pretty much who I would say for non-family mentors. But of course, I have 1,000. Listen, I have at least 200 members of my family I know by name. At least 200, 200 or 300 family members I know by name. I got like 20, 30 uncles, just as many aunts. I got a lot of family members, a lot of people. So they all helped mentor me as a child. But non-family, those two would be the main ones. Alrighty, but that will be a wrap for me. Shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for joining. But until next time, y'all be safe. I'm out, and peace.